My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com.
It's 1:11 a.m. and that is the entity that is group stalking by a helicopter, flying in circles above me at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts and Engineered Light, group stalking 24 hours a day, and following from, again, where I was at the B&G Plaza by helicopter, flying around in circles while I'm at that venue, following to the museum. And this is the entity that's engaging in 24-hour criminal surveillance with the people of the state. That's the audible activity of the entity stalking by helicopter. And it is, by the way, Monday, May 9th, 2022. It is the Ontario Museum of History and Arts where the entity is group stalking, flying in circles. Moments ago, approximately 3 minutes earlier, the entity flying directly over by helicopter. This demon that's flying in a helicopter is listening to what I'm stating right now and engaging in what is maintaining out of sight, or I've already established the evidence of the entity that's a group stalker. That's exactly what the entity is doing right now, and flying in circles above me, audibly engaging in ongoing terrorism, where the people of the state are monitoring as well in relevant position while this entity is group stalking at 1:12 in the morning on May 9th, 2022 at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. An engineered light that I'm being molested by. This is a sex offense by the state of California that is stalking in a helicopter. This is P.O.C. License 7XDK1228CDG641, and let's see, 8H26325, 6WFS889, 5NQC563. (7HWT013). 6YKZ058, license 8LVY145, group stalking with Ontario Police. Ontario Police are group stalking at the intersection of Euclid and Holt, turning west onto Holt Boulevard right now at 7:57 a.m. Fake sun is directly over me. And City of Ontario is group stalking at the museum with light activity. This is the surveillance system underway. It's currently, again, 7:57 in the morning, and the fake sun is directly over me. License of Ontario Police is 1591428, vehicle 1039 is crossing path. That's a different minion, same demon-possessed agency. They're patrolling, surrounding all around. 6LVG828. And this is license plates of San Bernardino County, the 150 East, San Bernardino County, 150 East Holt. That's the venue where their police are patrolling. Alrighty, capturing video of group stalking by the City of Ontario, creating light activity, monitoring in the path. The other license plate is 1416303. They are monitoring surrounding the venue of the Ontario Museum, and I did capture that on video at 8 o'clock in the morning. Alrighty, it is currently 8:05 a.m. and as I capture, you see the Ontario Police, they're monitoring to all that. What City of Ontario is engaging in is facilitation. The minions that are the people of the state are group stalking on the streets where I was standing yesterday reading on their license plates. License 6DEE7. They're crossing path on this super busy street where they've got all these construction vehicles and it's a danger to your safety. Watch out. They're patrolling, engaging, and monitoring together where the entity is hovering by commercial airline planes. 8CJD478, crossing path. And again, those are the same exact minions. That's the municipality. Understand, the municipality is engaging in surveillance and terrorism. It's demonic activity that the city of Ontario is engaging in, facilitating, sponsoring, and also engaging in obstruction of justice as the municipality. And those specific actors are engaged on multiple documented acts of criminal conduct with the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department in that specific environment, meaning the fake sun is over me, directed light surrounding that ongoing environment surrounds while they are engaging in the pattern of conduct. That's how you know that it is the pattern of conduct. And also you have what is the the entity engaging in what are kidnappings while you are documenting their criminal conduct. And I mean replete with the entity stalking by helicopter, flying over me in circles as I've documented, the exact same P.O.C. They're not doing anything different while this is what the municipality does. So you're talking about a demon with access to a vehicle with the municipality's logo on it, and you're pulling up to a tree. It's in the same way a demon operating a vehicle with the mail courier's logo on it. You're group stalking. You pull up to a tree and turn on your light activity. You pull up to any third party's venue or state facilitating venue and turn on your light activity. They're monitoring, okay, and they're all doing so in the same exact specific environment. So I want to point that out. It is currently 8:07 a.m. and there is no form in that environment. And so I am going to document your understanding what is the malice, your understanding what is the grounds of federal prison. And I also want you to see up close those particular minions who engaged in multiple acts of harassment and terrorism on behalf of the entity. And those are those two exactly. That's the duo they like to engage in. They're very obsessed stalkers. They like to hover over me while I'm sleeping. I documented this in June of 2018. The entity is stalking by helicopter. The entity is aiming directed light onto the museum where it's remaining, which is what I was documenting day in and day out. And June 18th, the entity engages in kidnapping. All right, in doing so, pursuant to alleging asserting a fictitious warrant, referencing a fictitious case that does not actually exist. It exists because the entity said that it exists. This is the public corruption. 58876U1 is monitoring. That's Vidco Foods monitoring with the Ontario Police. 8MAG 546 monitoring with the Ontario Police, the municipality. They're creating light activity around the perimeter. Brian's Automotive, all of them are monitoring. Metro 102. This is, of course, the case. This is how I'm able to capture on the same block that which is not possibly the sun before 8 o'clock in the morning. It was here at 5:56 p.m. And that's what I was pointing out to you yesterday evening as I'm capturing the demon-possessed Ontario Police sounding sirens, as I'm reminding you about the plethora of documentation that already exists of this entity stalking by helicopter. As I went down the list, Mayfair Inn, Economy Inn, Baymont Inn, including also Motel 6 and the Motel 6 that's both on Euclid Avenue. That's both on 4th Street and the one that's right here in Vineyard. The entities stalking by helicopter, as I've documented it at every facilitating venue where I'm subject to the P.O.C. The entity engaging in kidnapping, and inside of the state facilitating venues, Glen Helen Rehabilitation Center, Central Detention Center, West Valley Detention Center, the entity group stalking by helicopter, which was indicated because inside of my cells where I remain kidnapped, pursuant to fictitious prosecutions, this is the entity that's engaged in group stalking as I'm documenting it, and then sought to create a fake case and also defame me by kidnapping me inside of a mental ward where they had no legal grounds to ever arrest in the first place, to ever touch me. This is hostility by demons who stand around, who you're seeing on camera. They're smiling and cheesing and trying to engage in what is threatening, calling the police. That's supposed to make me run off while you're monitoring me. You'll go to federal prison for that. That's exactly what I'm speaking to. This is what the entity engages in. While the demons who I'm documenting, understand I'm documenting both parts of it. The demon-possessed police department who are group stalking you, and then you have the entity that's monitoring, and that is supposed to be the threat to get you to run off and be intimidated and or engage in what is kidnapping by those very demons of the police department. They're group stalking together. Yes, those psychopaths go to federal prison. Those are close-up images and video footage of those. That's the municipality. All right, and that's the pattern of conduct by the people of the state in general, relying upon the demon-possessed police department who are group stalking with them. That's who they are engaged. That's what this minion is doing. Oh, she's standing around. So what? So what? All right, she's in my face. No, I'm not. I'm not breathing in his likely infected breath. She's using her phone. So what? So what? All right, that's a threat by a minion who's scared, contrary to what he's outwardly conducting himself as though he finds it funny. Let me be clear. Satan don't find it funny at all. They're actually terrified. They're very scared. They're scared
because I am documenting their criminal activity. They're scared because I know that they're demons. That's not supposed to be known. I understand Satan is very fearful of that. And thirdly, they're scared because I am telling what's going to happen. They're going to federal prison. But you have, what is the defense mechanism? Ha ha ha, he, like it's funny, all right? And there's nothing funny about it. There's nothing funny about it, even if I wasn't documenting the pattern of conduct. It's supposedly funny, but then on the other hand, you want to call the police. Is it funny or is it not? What is it? Okay, you're dealing with what are psychopaths. They're monitoring. All I'm doing is pointing out to you what is the psychopath. That is Satan, who wants to engage in threatening. That's also harassment. They're going to federal prison for that, in addition to what is criminal summoning. And let me break down what criminal summoning is. Operation of a communication device in relevant position in directed light. It's monitoring. 2858483. And it's a psychopath who's monitoring with the police, who are already monitoring you while they're calling the police as though the police don't know where. Those demons, I just documented them on video. And that's not the only one. The Ontario Police Department is consumed with Erica Lorraine Spencer. They use all of their resources, their police vehicles, group stalking, using their sirens and their lights, maintaining presence around me, writing down what I'm doing second by second, minute by minute. Okay, psychopath. 7YUD002. And that's not an exaggeration. I've documented it. Okay, sitting up taking notes while I'm inside of Woodside Senior Apartments at 3:01. Erica Spencer is watching television. Literally. That's what Officer Kessel was writing on his little computer inside of his police vehicle before they engaged in kidnapping on August 6, 2020. 88156G3. Excuse me, that was August 6, 2019. Where I noted the specific notes of what I was doing inside of Tracy Banks' apartment, which is supposedly a private residence. It's not. It's a third-party facilitating venue where the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department were engaging in surveillance. Okay, that's how they're noting minute by minute. And this is after Officer Cho and Kessel kidnapped me, an assault and battery, by an entity engaged in federal stalking. They're demons, entirely creepy individuals who are monitoring and aware of the fact that I'm documenting, and they're monitoring with Tracy Banks, in whose apartment they are aware of what I'm doing. Let me be clear, there's no microphone inside of her apartment. That's not it. They're demons that know exactly what I'm doing. They're engaging in what is criminal surveillance on August 6, 2019, and that's exactly what the Ontario Police Department is continuously engaged in, the ongoing unlawful the unlawful acquisition of information that they do not lawfully maintain. And they know exactly what I'm doing, where I'm at. AS458 handicap. And that's provided by this Tracy Banks, a psychopath. That's not a mother. She didn't even get a text message on Mother's Day. She's not a mother. She's a psychopath. That's Satan. Okay, I happen to be blood related to one who was a minion. BM45J82. That's why they're making very specific notes as I documented this. While after they kidnapped me and placed me into the police vehicle of Officer Kessel, having no right to do so based on the criminal assertion of false allegations by Tracy Banks after she actually attacked me, and I defend myself, and then days later she summons the police, criminal summoning. She's going to federal prison, and then she talks about the fact that I attacked her. She attacked me days earlier and didn't call the police when she had more of a chance on that day when she physically attacked me, because she knows she attacked me. She attacks me like it's like August 2nd. And then or August 3rd, the entity, she does not summon any police on that day because she physically attacked me, and she paid the price for that. I defended myself, and I told her, you might not want to put your hands on me, because that's what's going to happen. And so you're talking about what is defending myself after she puts her hands on me, and she shouldn't have done that. And you have what is an unlawful threat while you're monitoring me. All right, this is a demon that's physically attacking me. And so that demon was dealt with. She doesn't call the police because there was no physical attack of Tracy Banks. Okay, Tracy Banks is a stalker. I'm not consumed with her. She's consumed with me. Understand, you're not dealing with a mother and daughter. You're dealing with minion and targeted individual, a psychopath. And I'm inside of that apartment of Woodside Senior Apartments, where the Ontario police are making very specific notes about what I'm doing minute by minute before they arrive pursuant to criminal summoning of Tracy Banks, a third party, just like license plate, 9AMK406. And they're state actors just like the city of Ontario, who are engaging in what is state surveillance, knowing exactly what I'm doing, where I'm at. So I want to be clear, that's the totality of that picture of that psychopath that's group stalking, and then picking up their phone, I'm going to call the police, after you're chuckling like you find it funny. First, Satan thinks it's funny. Ah, ha, 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 ha. And then all of a sudden you want to call the police. Well, do you think it's funny? Or are you trying to say that you're threatened? Which one is it? All right? While you're monitoring. Okay, either role you want to take, but let's just point that out. Pay attention to that. While they're present under the fake sun and in directed light. Texas license plate. License 35DV179, 6XCE324, and it's currently 8:16 a.m. That is P.O.C. And the fake sun, like I was pointing out,
and in real time, the entity is shining that fake sun over me. The moment that I capture video, you can still see it there. The entity is aiming direct light, and I've documented it already before. All right, with the entity, but I'm pointing out, understand demonic activity. In real time, Satan is sitting back and monitoring. Satan is present through the environment. Satan is present through these people. Satan using what are the puppets of the Ontario Police Department. I'm encountering Satan through the municipality, the city of Ontario. These are the demon possessed. The people of the state that are patrolling on Hope Boulevard, as I sat here for hours documenting the people of the state. They are ceaselessly engaged in that criminal act of monitoring. All right, while the Ontario Police go up to the parking garage and engage in what is surveillance. That's light activity, audible activity, and relevant positioning that they're engaging in. Alrighty, and then pulling out something to cut a tree down when you're engaging in what is the ongoing elements of monitoring. As you then begin cutting down a tree, because I start capturing video, that's called audible activity creation. Monitoring. All right, demons engaging in the P.O.C. and then relying upon their outward appearance of being focused on some activity as to the reason why they are stalking in the path. And there is no legal argument. You're actually witnessing that psychopath. That's a stalker, thinking that they can stalk for a purpose. All right, that's the delusional psychopath. It is currently, by the way, 8:17 a.m. and that's captured in videos. I'm at S.I.I.S Liquor, 8 SIR 541. 6 NPW 544, 8 NXM 447, 8 VYN 775, 6 KYY 358. They're monitoring to the light activity that the City of Ontario is providing. They're monitoring with the Ontario Police engaged in state surveillance at the parking garage. They're monitoring under the fake sun that's at the same location where I was at yesterday in the evening after 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. 6 VPR 431, 6 XHV 993. They're monitoring with the state that's hovering over the B&G Plaza by plane. This is Clinica Medica, California. License 7BZD597, 7UJY876, 8T46184. Every single last one of them, those that are not natural-born citizens, deporting out of the country, okay? Engaging in what is conduct that results in also federal prison. They're monitoring with the entity that's engaging in this terrorism as I'm continuously pointing it out. 6YAH948, 7JSF576, and 6XHV993 turning on their vehicle, which is starting their ignition. This creates light activity while the entity simultaneously flies over, and flies over particularly where I'm standing inside of the B&G Plaza. 7RTR936. License 8 VRP 650, 9 ALP 257, 7 VOS 809, 8 GYU 826, 8 VEP 544. Alrighty, capturing relevant positioning inside of the plaza, of the B&G Plaza. And it's currently 8:19 a.m. 8 SIR 541, in case I didn't read that one, and 6 XHV 993, group stalking with minor children in the vehicle, which is also captured in that image that I'm capturing while they're engaging in surveillance parked in the parking lot of the B&G Plaza. It's 8:19 a.m. This is P.O.C. You're looking at what is surveillance. This is 7GUA024. They're loitering in relevant position based on where I'm standing at the doorway of the S.I.I.S Liquor. And then again, these demons that are focused on me in the same way the entity immediately starts covering up its fake sun as I start capturing video. It's already established what you're doing with your fake sun and what you're doing as group stalkers. 7GUA024 is engaged in loitering in perfect alignment with me at the doorway, and this meaning with their bike. They're maintaining presence around me as I'm standing at that doorway, putting my stuff back on my luggage carrier. I'm getting situated, and they're maintaining presence all around. This is an entity that is surrounding at all times. That's the obsessive stalking activity. All right, 7GUA024 is captured and still images doing that. 6WUH572. Clinica Medica, California is the facilitating venue. You have group stalking while they're standing in a line behind it. It's currently 8:24 a.m. And this is after completing my purchase at the S.I.I.S Liquor. License 7X13113. 6JPM087 09562R2 FNE354, that's Iowa, 8UXB499, 9E46465, 8YTJ567, 90694H2, 6UVV691, 8RWR549, Central Transport, that's a trucking company, 6XZF830, 7EMW365. Commercial Door Company, see. I'll get their license plate in a second. License CB32Z85 is paper. Commercial door company is license 4NX5716 is on the back of that vehicle. They're covering like a flat little trailer. The license plate on the commercial door company vehicle is 21639B2. Group stalking at Andy's Burgers under the fake sun. California 0194702. License 7SMH984. 7HLT280. License 7VWB741. It's 8:26 a.m. And that's the entity that's group stalking with the Ontario Police and the City of Ontario. This is what the entity was doing by plane and train. It's audible activity. It's group stalking conduct. 7SBE202, 8XDG894, CMC Heart EAG, and these minions are monitoring and terrorizing with that entity. 7TDN897, 6UEF. I can't really see the rest of it. You guys don't know. Brian's Automotive. They're monitoring. They're part of the same P.O.C. Just want to document that. 55827N2. That's Vermeer. 7ZBE 378. LTC023, 5VWR800, 7JJX019, that's Student Transportation of America, 8AGG769, 52093U1, 8Y0977, but I think I'm missing a character. I can't see that whole license plate. 8Y09 something 77. Can't really see it though. You can scratch that. And it's 8:28 a.m. license plate. Oh. License plate 55072B2. $8LL 3672. 8VAT 304. License plate 63068H3. 8VRL273. They're group stalking under the fake sun, which I'm capturing on the same street where I was present, while the Ontario Police are group stalking at 5:56 p.m. And this is the same light source that remains present, not possibly the sun, the moment that I start capturing video of those demons engaging in surveillance, stalking in the targeted individual's face, the unlawful threat posed by demons that are in positions that they will be snatched out of immediately. You're talking about what is federal prison, okay? But like I said, that is a well-spoken point and a well-progressed template that the demons of the Ontario Police Department have provided. The grounds of disbanding such plagued agencies. They are revealing the unfit and the unworthy. They are absolutely in no way what is fit for being in the positions that they're in as police officers who are literally engaging in criminal conduct. This is not a new concept. I get it, but for me, it's unfortunate, but it is the reality. And so all I'm doing is documenting it. And this is speaking to what is the necessary. Remember, this is not ordinary criminal conduct. It is what is satanic at its core. All right, so you're talking about what you're unfit in every way, and also your condition, which is not concealed at all anymore. You're talking about what's the condition that is revealed through the environment that they're in, and the activity that they're engaging in that environment is facilitating what is a satanic targeting system, which is criminal. And then you're a police officer engaging in that. and then you are intending on trying to threaten somebody that's enforcing their rights, which you should be on that target individual's side, but you're monitoring with them. You're the criminal. All right. It is currently 8:34 a.m. This is P.O.C.
I am aboard the Omnitrans bus route 83 at 8:36 a.m. Going northbound on Euclid Avenue, and I did capture again that video as I stated before getting on that bus of what is the fake sun in the same location it is yesterday at 5:56 p.m. License 8MAD 813 70596A3 6EHX 477 8JSV 935 64129J3. It is, by the way, 8:37 a.m. 56911 N2. City of Ontario crossing path with using their dumpster trucks. Group stalking at Bank of America and the Blink Fitness Plaza and that little walkway using another truck. They're stalking in the path of light activity. 8ETD 588. American Inn is group stalking. That was El Pescador at the bus stop. They're monitoring. The entity is maintaining, facilitating light activity. License plate 6FGP 213.
Stop requested.
It is 8:38 a.m. 8TYX 035. Again, that's 8TYX 035. 8866B handicap. Group stalking at Chaffee High School. They're stalking in the path of light activity. And Chaffee High School is a venue, and the people of the state are engaging in monitoring with those under the age of majority, by the way. And so is American Medical Response group stalking right now. And so is Omnitrans group stalking right now. SOCAL T4 442758 13468B2 8HOY 554. Again, that's the pattern of conduct underway at Chaffee Joint Union High School, where Chaffee High School is located at 1245 Euclid Avenue in Ontario, California. And you have all of these little minions under the age of majority engaging in state surveillance. They're monitoring with communication devices. And this is also revealing what is demon possession amongst those under the age of majority. So this is revealing an entire population and a criminal system underway by that particular population in the same exact specific environment, using those under the age of majority to engage in that P.O.C. 6YAC 216. Eight VSD 983. 6ZZF 901. 8WRU 079. Six ZZF. Oh, I can't see that one. 6GVJ 670. And license plate 6ZZF. I can't see the rest of them.
7FHK430, 6L91794, 8TPZ741, 7HHW430, 5DXC193, 24846U2. License LEES 12 8ZGL026. $8DWW043, American Medical Response 43249N1, Vehicle 87078. 8LDU766, 8BR8379. SoCal Gas Group stalking at the Arco at 193 South Euclid Avenue in Upland. Bell Cab Group stalking crossing path. And it's currently 8:43 a.m. This is the fake sun that's at 8:43 over the intersection of 9th Street and Euclid Avenue, where the 7-Eleven is located. The same 7-Eleven where the entity keeps a fake sun over that same venue, aiming light into that venue, surrounding directed light all over the ground. 8LDU766, that's license plate. That directed light that sits on top of your person, as I showed you, that directed light after 6:30 p.m. The entity is keeping a fake sun, moving that right over the property while I'm on the bus right now. P.O.C. I've already documented that I've been there at 8:45 in the morning, even earlier than that.
Stop requested.
That's clearly the pattern of conduct that I've been documenting there for purposes of prosecuting. And while I'm in Ontario at 6:13 p.m., the light source is not over again where I'm just now arriving in Upland, California at that venue. The sun is not in its zenith in alignment with that 7-Eleven, aiming light into that venue while it's at Euclid Avenue, beside Metro 102 apartments on Hope Boulevard, and aiming light into the Shiro's Liquor. You see the trajectory, the direction of that directed light. It's not over some 7-Eleven in Upland, California. I'm just now arriving in Upland, California. Did not take any bus trip from Upland, California yesterday. Remained on Hope Boulevard, and that's where the fake sun remained. It is currently 8:45 a.m. BLSCAPE, I believe. Oh, sorry, RLSCAPE. 6XUA195, 8WDZ401, 6XSF988. It's 8:45 a.m. Alrighty, this is 8:45 arriving in Upland, California. This is bus number 1222. The license is 1234515. Arriving in again 8:46 a.m. I'm at the intersection of Arrow Highway and Euclid Avenue. 8EBG205, 6SCJ673, 6XTX642, 7A63938, BA22NO, B422NO, 69460F2, 5VSX873, 6A6974, 7NWG680, 4KYB892, 7ZAZ354, and it's 8:46 a.m. 6SNV128, 8ZHD 931, 8ZAV 885, 8X 84480, 7GKS 817, 8FG 146, 11457D3, 1595263. That's California exempt. This is it is 8:47 a.m. 42312X1. JB Hunt crossing path. 7ZBPO55 3AYJ666 0449682 6AJA761 6HLE113 8JSU609 6250982 6XST343 7NQF260 4BPN722 8FVP097 7EWZ. These third parties are engaged in criminal summoning 8WRY890. License 6ZWH873. 8PVG843 is a white van driven by a white woman, group stalker, a demon-possessed one, 7EWZ863. Satan doesn't have a race. Using all of these minions of every race that you can fathom. Multiple languages is not limited by any matter of linguistics or age or where you live, your zip code. This is what is a systematic means of placing under what the law refers to as surveillance while this demonic activity is underway by a demon-possessed people. 6PJD801, 8AGV846, 8TQK 792. 0533OP2 Clemson, is that California? Excuse me, is that a commercial vehicle? 8JEK711, 8XRU561, 45105G3, 7BYK908, 8XFK926, 8DTB422. It's 8:49 a.m. Eight HHY 312. One 8897W2. It's 8:50 a.m. Eight FPY 911, 5 CGW 035. GALUCH2, 5FUU 649, 7VXH380, excuse me, 8VGL 515, 8T, I can't really see that one, 8GEL 747, 6UCX 427, 4TYG 677, 5RSC 187, LIAMILA 59217F1, that's FedEx. 8SFE422, 8DRA379, 8JSW670, 7DGX105, I believe, 7UZN932, 05173G3, 7RAV159, 8CUV726, 8UAW518, 7DEG134, 8HRW364, 7YJN508, 4PVV478, 74883, I can't really see that one. 7RCH 592. 7PKG 950. Durham School Services Vehicle 33944. They're crossing path. CA 92P81. That's a paper plate on a black Porsche. San Bernardino County Fire crossing path. at D Street in Euclid. The fake sun is right over me. I did capture it in still images so you can see. It's 8:52 a.m. 12460K2 8VUH478 8YAM 579. And that fake sun, as I'm capturing it at 8:52 a.m., is in the same location where it remains at 10 o'clock in the morning where I enter the Upland Public Library. 8TJN602 56167X2, which is the same placement over that building where I stand at 1:45 in the afternoon, or I stood at 5:35 in the afternoon. License 8RGA683. That's what I just captured in a still image while San Bernardino County in a fire truck is crossing path on D Street. License 8YPA596 7UXL179 JZC9343. That's Texas. 27639L3 6LMG825 BS94G29 8TKL925 8BRF738 96926H2 V824MO 12135U2 Y83LMQ Florida 8UXV641 7TBY540 6VVN863 5MVL747 7EHN367 3VEP370 8JYF900 8ZUL546 3775OJ2 739RZ handicap 6SJC740 8XRX595 8CTY174 LUKEFOX 8NFK662 7HGR079 BX143 handicap 7UNG181 QUAZZAR 8CTD 924 Landscape Service California 0369696, and the license plate is 6CO7526 6SXX610 7YWC686 DC708 handicap 4RNN526 lagging behind to make sure somebody stays in alignment with me. Group stalking in traffic. It's 8:54 a.m. City of Upland crossing path. And 2VMG517 7VXM342 8AQL222 6YVD014 5ZHC728 8LVG732 7YMT885 7VCD270 8PVW041 8PQZ563 7F87268 8SYW018 7MYU022 78323X2 6692Y License 7JJL529 331JA handicap 7YGC864 8AZX050 8YDT776 DALLAA I can't really see that for you 7U767S 721 82663S2 8FUZ436 7AUK234 5M71589 8 P97056, and it's currently 8:56 a.m. Upland Police crossing path going south on Euclid Avenue. Fake sun remains right here over the Upland Public Library where I stand at 8:57 a.m. 7YQW181. 7Y50147. 5LZH224. And just to clarify, as I continue to point out, this is not the sun that is at the same time remaining stationary over Shiro's Liquor on Holt Boulevard. That's not what the sun is doing. That's not what the sun does. 6YOF008. In other words, the sun is not some object like the sky that is present everywhere that you're going. The sun is not remaining in its zenith over everyone at the same time, nor is it in those two cities at those two addresses, in the zenith over Shiro's Liquor and the B&G Plaza, and over me at the Upland Public Library, 7VPT219, nor is that the case for the duration of the day. So while I'm here in the morning, the sun is not also, as I've documented, remaining over the B&G Plaza, remaining over the that street, which is Hope Boulevard, where I was in the evening, because while I'm here at 5:56 p.m., the sun is not over that same exact address where I was yesterday at 5:56 p.m. in Ontario. One requiring my getting on a bus, traveling north on Euclid Avenue, entering into the city of Upland, where the fake sun is documented in the window over me while I'm en route to the city. So like I stated, EZP301. The entity is engaging in what is indeed stalking with a light source that is not the sun, and nor is the sun going to remain present over one strip of a region for the whole day. Okay, so it's not present over both locations at the same time in its zenith at both locations. Okay, a zenith, being in the zenith under the sun, is a specific location. It's a specific occurrence at a time of the day. It's not something that's occurring perpetually over one person either, or a single address for the duration of a day. Okay. In addition, it's also not occurring at these two different cities at the same time as I've documented it. The light source being over me at the same time in both cities. 7YKM002, and neither is the actual sun, because this is speaking to what is the light source that's remaining over me. The actual sun is not remaining stationary over both addresses at the same time in its zenith for the duration of the day. Okay, that's not the sun. Under all of those, that's not the sun at all. 959OOG2, 7YOU549. It's a scientific impossibility. 8CMG512, that's capturing the demonic. It's a reference to the demon possessed, who are group stalking. 7VRE774, and unfortunately, that includes the demon possessed police agencies. You understand that there is no ability to access any 7TWU668, I believe, to redress grievances in a court amongst an entity that is demon possessed, that is engaging in state surveillance. They, in every regard, as I have documented, have the intention to obstruct justice. All right, and that is speaking to, again, federal law, federal question jurisdiction. License 7LMD736, a VAMPLOV, TSNDYSNY, 6MOJ, I can't really see the rest of it, MAVRK11, 5CUA634. And the tactics of the entity engaging in what is covering it up, playing peekaboo with the fake sun, is no departure from that same stalking conduct. The fake sun remains over me wherever I'm located. BKR083, I believe, but I can't really see that one. You can scratch that one. 7WXD601, 6WFG179. And that's all that Satan is doing, and I'm referring to it exactly. This is the control of the environment, which Satan has the ability to exercise. That's exactly what Satan does, and Satan is present through its minions, 4HMD760 included. License U.S.X.I.N.L.I. These are the demon possessed who are engaging in criminal conduct. All right, they work for Satan. This is the reality of their condition. Now, what's relevant to what is their prosecution in federal court? They're engaged in interstate stalking. All right, that's monitoring with communication devices in violation of federal law. 8AWG559. They're doing so with the state of California that's engaging in state surveillance, and it is entirely terrorism, while the entity engages in the satanic methods employed, because it is rooted in that which is entirely demonic. License 8XYL814, and it's also terrorism while you have an entire people stalking you. okay? And they are stalking you because they are in that environment that is a scientific impossibility. This is capturing Satan. This is capturing Satan's criminal conduct. License 27652Z2. 6G23647, 7WRY616, 8UVB 800. Crown Shavings Incorporated, California 44042, license plate 59695C2, 7YSB782, 7XGK404, 7WPW 753. 8BXR 697, 8YQW428, 98161J1, 1288816. That's Upland Police. License 7VYV768, 8KBY729, 7NFU529, 8TQA898, 75248P1, 7JAS484, 6BPW221, 7G45575, 67725M1 Western Exterminator Company, 7KYM704, 90035K, can't see the last character, 77508D3, 8MPM115. We've got plane activity at Arrow Highway and Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. It has nothing to do with an airport. Ladies and gentlemen, it's group stalking by plane. License 8RFR017. Group stalking with the entity that's terrorizing stalking by airplanes. 8TCR173. 8KSZ039. 7YSC864. 8JXN722. 6FPM031, 11165N1. 9AVS884, FedEx 7267, 72687B3, I believe. 10817E1. That was nonetheless FedEx, but I think that was their license plate. 7HZS966. 8KMM250, 7VOU855, 6VFZ671, 5YCH320, 4ZXU027, 8LSG253, and Sam's Liquor on Arrow Highway, they're monitoring. The Sam's Market on Euclid Avenue, he's monitoring. 8BJX405, the people of the state, at 14 Arrow Highway, I believe 30 Arrow Highway in Upland, California. These addresses: 477 North Euclid Avenue, 425 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California, 379 the people of the state in relevant position in Upland, California. That's 379 Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. 5WYR528, the Upland City Hall. All right, Upland Police 1560983, vehicle 207, group stalking with the people of the state, whose address I'm reciting, while they're group stalking, providing evidence against the people of the state. The threat that they're posing while the entity is group stalking by planes and by police officers and by fire departments, that's terrorism. And doing so under what's a fake sun that remains over the same exact address where I stand until after 6 o'clock in the evening. That's all manner of terrorism. License 59316N2. CC58M91 paper, 8SQK081, 7KKN581, 3844983, 7MPH504. XVB549, 7ETH645. It's 9:06 a.m. Eight LWR 118, 7 BNB 975. 69469F3, 8SEC988, 56643V2. That's LG TV. That's the logo on that van. 8FEH024, 6XRW731, 7LTM558, 58996D1. That's Wrangle Brothers. 28860N2, 87529W2, 7TSH186, 8ZKN263, 7WOC878, 71395B3, 8EPZ843, 7KOE789, 8MVT007, 8JRU024, City of Upland, license 1395395. 5WON977, 5WRN744, 7KVE830, 8WQL695, 40921K3, 32080J3, 8GQG275, 8FNC792, U.S. Edison, 35492M1, DBL07MD, 5ZYL943, that's Frontier Communications, 8YAC226, 811BS Handicap, 6BQM362, 7YEZ427, 'Metrolink dropping the gates for the train tracks at 9:09 a.m. That's light activity. License 5FTB663, 8NDJ847, 7JLH458, 993L5G2. Five HDT037, 5VBK214, 7BCX584, 8AZZ782, K586CO, 8ZLD372, 8XAL616, 8GJK748. 7ZV1CO, 6ELV962, crossing path at 9:11 a.m. Seven 1LJ809, 16905J1, 7ZXR905, 9AKF255, 8TKG014, 8VOZ088, 8WSM, I can't see what it's called, 8KFR636, 6ZNW380, 8HHP390, 8LIR400, 14991C3, EY228 handicap, 7HGJ117, XTH120. (44131W1) Metrolink crossing path. Metrolink crossing path at 9:12 a.m. going westbound from the Upland station. License 8LFL785 6ZJD437. So they are going westbound. Again, that's light activity creation and crossing path. Not only Metrolink, the company, is facilitating the pattern of conduct, but they are also facilitating minions that are riding the Metrolink train are monitoring and crossing path on that train. This is massive surveillance that's underway. Okay, communication devices on the run on the train, monitoring as well. It's 9:12 a.m. and there's surveillance cameras on the Metrolink train and also at the Upland station, at the Metrolink stations in general. So just want to document that. And I did capture that in an image. 5 PPF 960. San Bernardino County Fire, license 1522046, vehicle P253. 5 PCU 326. 8 TYA 586. 6 RUD 405. 7 XNP 040. Group stalking by airplane. There's no airport, okay? For FF 303, handicap. It's the main thing that minions would speak of on the internet. Not that it matters what Satan is trying to speak and distract from while Satan is being prosecuted. But there's no airport here. The entity is stalking by planes. 88145N1 at the intersection of Arrow Highway and Euclid Avenue under the fake sun. 70532D2. 8ZTG843. 6FK652. 8FBG. I can't see the rest of them. 8XZW911. 7XJE171, 7FEL499, 8LVG732. And by the way, even in Ontario, where there is an airport attributed to the city of Ontario, is still no explanation for what is the stalking conduct of the entity using commercial airline planes in the specific environment, migrating where I migrate. 8FJA436. But nonetheless, you're dealing with minions. 6YYM218. Minions who are inferior. 7PBD599. 7NLN283. And 8FPY911, loitering in relevant position. 8HHH834. At 9:14 a.m., they're loitering inside of the state facilitating venue of the Upland City Hall. 78JR860. This appears to be, this is a bald-headed male, perhaps Indian or from the Middle East. 25295U1. He's also going to be on surveillance cameras inside of the Upland City Hall. License 8UHT114. License 1613260, American Red Cross. 7NBS839. 7WOE804. 4RT2318 is the license plate of a trailer attached to the vehicle whose license plate I can't see. And again, the entire time that this, perhaps this Middle Eastern male driving a blue Tesla is inside of the Upland City Hall, monitoring the entire time. Okay, being at the venue is nothing other than presence. Monitoring with communication devices is in no way hindered. The entity actually relying on the presence of other venues where they can go and be present to partake in a meal while they're group stalking, make a purchase while they're group stalking, loiter in relevant position, holding a shopping cart while they're group stalking, renting or checking out a book, asking questions inside of the venue while they're group stalking, indirect light under the fake sun while the entity's group stalking by planes, helicopters, police, fire, and ambulance. So I just want to be clear, it is currently 9:15 a.m. That is the P.O.C. License 7XUM920. 4395, excuse me, 43595, 43595A5, excuse me. And that is a demon-possessed veteran, OCBOUJE, prosecuted the same. It's just more despicable, more nauseating. That's it, it's a demon the same. 94524D3, demons crossing path with directed light on the ground. License plate. And that speaks directly to the condition of that minion driving that vehicle, talking about they're a veteran. They're a demon. That's what they need to talk about. But that's the part they don't want you to know about. Satan wants you to know that it's a veteran. Satan is also part of these police departments, these fire departments, flying these airplanes and these helicopters, a part of the government, sitting up in city halls and on council members. and their minions engaging in criminal conduct. 5NXY359. Demons the same. It is 9:16 a.m. 8PLH 879. (6RML 117). 6NVE 711, 8ZDO 082, I believe, 6LCG 944, 7A82467, 7DWB 291, 7AVD 852, 8UNU 935, 8VIG 608, 6XOW 325, 7LDJ 205, 8MWP 430, CC96V21 paper, 7VKN 675, 6VUM 97. I think I read that one. 83852P2, U2A51W1, 8BGH 676. Bay alarm, license plate 71086M2. 8WWJ 833. 8CZA 917. 7YNB 404. 8ALX 651. 8BGH 676. Like that one. 7FFW 826. It's 9:18 a.m. (79640T2). PALOS 21. 8DAF 404. 7YAK 323. 8C59622. 8XAG 357. 8YDE 558, 6ZAE 367. Noise, light activity, relevant positioning. Relevant positioning by 5ULE 746, 5GKU 913. That's the relevant positioning, and doing so with a minor in the vehicle. Appears to be a Latino male. And you're hearing an ongoing means of noise in engineered light. All right, the fake sun is over my head, okay? Lights in 6FRM 546. This is the P.O.C. Everything that you are hearing, the ongoing objective by demons, surround you with noise, surround you physically as an entity, and surround you with engineered light. That's the system of surveillance, and they're monitoring together with communication devices. And every single last one of them are demons, all right? Every single last, it's a demon-possessed population. That's why the fake sun is present where you live. You are a demon, and that is being revealed now in 2022. 8NJE 517. 8VJG 062. License 8MEK 155. 8HRV 8HRV 858. 8NFX 355. 906 NCH Oregon. 7WPP 077. 8FVB 693. (4TKG 271). 7SLT 824. (6VXV 401). 7NMC 761. 8YNN 448. 5MZD 281. (27796 E2). 5CCY222. This is the YMCA 43125H2. 9AHV206. And it's currently 9:22 a.m. (8MSX1697GWP717). Hooked on towing. 98824H3. 8XTG118. 66688S1. That's all pro. 8KMR384, I believe. 7VES173. 8LGV732. 9AHL559. 7TTJ684, 8CLT430, 8JYD471. While I do enjoy the smell of the fresh smell of cut grass, this is a demon that's pacing back and forth. Alrighty, doing so on what is a lawnmower. This is an appropriated method of demonic pacing in the engineered light amongst amplified audible activity, group stalking, providing audible activity while these demons are monitoring all together. Understand that. But I do enjoy the smell of fresh cut grass. 8MIM854. Alright, this is demonic pacing. 7HVM322. Alrighty, and demons, again, demons seek to engage in what is their demonic conduct around you in a way that you are essentially distracted because they're cutting grass. So there appears to be a purpose for what they're doing. This is a demon that's pacing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and creating audible activity. NDY3471, 5WAM986, 6CVA725. 6CRG132, 8HEU920, 7VXJ239, 8, excuse me, I missed that one, that's 6QJ, but I can see the rest of it, 7EUE088, fluid trucking crossing path, 8GHG898. And engaging in surveillance, group stalking at the venue at 425 North Euclid Avenue. Minions stopping parked in front of those houses right across the street, stalking in the path, all right? Maintaining presence and alignment with me. 14350W2, bad boy. Bad Boys Group Stalking in a large truck. That's the name of that company. 95202B3. 5YHD075, 8RFM631, 8GOC926, I believe. 7VCF964. 73757A1. And it's 9:24 a.m. 8RUU484, 7HPF994, SQRLCW, 8GJS247, 76772G1, 8XNC897, 4ANE548, 8PQU280, CC21J51 paper, BV67A61, a fresh paper on that vehicle, 27848H3, look like it's hot off the printer, 8RYZ562, UPS, license 81064D3. Eight VAH928, 8DTR264, 6YRP369, 7NMX812, COTEDCT, 8BES768, I believe. I'm trying to see that one. That was a Honda trying to flip their license plate upwards so I can't see it. License 8KFB611, 6ROW385, MOTOX99, 8DJP315. 8BMN496, 7GQJ152, 81323C1, 8NMS619, 6MYG816, 6MND 583, 7BNB 989, 7ZJE 896, 5CRD 202, and it is 9:27 a.m. License 37750J2, 7ZKH 513, 5V27521. Heritage Park Nursing Center, license 77179K1. They're a bunch of demons exercising control and maintaining fiduciary statuses over while they're demons engaging in this sort of conduct. And that's what I mean by prosecuting the entity. 7GFA 834, 6YMR 496, 7RNK 059, EVOLT1, 7WVT 425, WRMHGS 680. I can't really see the rest of it. 6LGH 786, 33581W2. That's Roland Trucking. You've got demons that are exercising custody in fiduciary roles over, for example, the elderly that can't speak for themselves. They can't even perhaps think for themselves. You have what are tragic incidents that occur and amongst people, and you don't even know their actual condition when they're speaking of what are tragedies or accidents that are happening. SOCALP1, RXLSS. And this is what I'm speaking to. This is what I'm opening your eyes up to, the ways in which an entity engages in what is malice, criminal conduct. And you don't even know it. And because they're doing so as a people, the people include the law enforcement that's investigating it, the courts that are deciding over such issues, and they're all the same condition. The demon possessed making decisions as an entity, as a people, as to who's going to be executed, who's going to suffer, whatever. They're demons that engage in this conduct together. They're demons that are in positions that pose a threat to the public. And they're demons that are doing so, and you don't even know about it. 8GXG629, it's posted on the news as an accident, as a tragic event, all right, as a mysterious occurrence. All right, that's the type of stuff that's happening that's relevant, the implications of what is this criminal system that I'm revealing that is underway in plain sight. Those are the type of events that occur under the same exact entity, and you are ignorant of it, all right? So like I said, it's 9:29 a.m. That's P.O.C. And that's a third party, and that's a role that such an entity is in the capacity of. That's a very much of a threat if you have one, a grandmother, for example, or a great grandmother that's not a minion. 7FJX549, which ordinarily, I mean, I'm gonna leave that alone. I've given you what is the demonic formula with regard to the ability to know objectively the condition of one, but 8YOU009. Aside from the condition of the elderly themselves, you're talking about what is an unfit position for one of that condition, those of that condition to be in such a capacity. And that is knowable, okay? That is the condition which is previously one which is a mystery, all right? It's, well, a mystery insofar as if you don't have spiritual discernment and you don't know what you're dealing with, what you're encountering, what's in front of you, what's surrounding you. 8YOA183, but that's not a mystery anymore. Okay, and that is something that A728CO, to license plate, that is something that is speaking to what is legally speaking, period, the impropriety of the demon-possessed populations in such positions, period. It's just a threat, and it's one that where they are untrustworthy, they're unfit. You're talking about positions in society where the demon-possessed are, and I've shown you the demon-possessed are violent sex offenders, they're highly malicious actors, they're psychopaths, closeted psychopaths, who have every intention to engage in what is a violation of others, and doing so in a way where they are convinced that they are getting away with it, while they outwardly project themselves as being normal, engaging in what is assumed to be innocuous, unassuming conduct. Psychopath. 3668738. The very ones that will get on a TV screen with the news anchor, them and the news anchor minions, talk about, oh my goodness, I don't know what happened. I mean, on a stage, okay? That's Satan. This is the reality of the people of the state, whatever state. This is revealing that demon-possessed population, 7HYH805. That's dealing with evil, okay? That's the face of evil. And that's also what you're witnessing as I continuously document the P.O.C. Anyway, it's currently 9:31 a.m. 19515J3. 8GKP268, 9F46690, 8GTC291, 7ADL812, 1532728. That's the Chaffey Joint Union High School. License 7KDR925, 8ZUD325, 7LSR911, 7YXF329, 7RHG857, CWBY4L, 7XPL490, 60957Z2, 8BWD500, 7RNK089, I believe, 7KJE751, 7XLS709, 5XLC982. It's 9:33 a.m. Oh, by the way, when I was raising my voice, like, oh my gosh, I was fake crying. Okay, that's what demons do. Some of the best actors and actresses you'll ever encounter. License 8G17154, 72012883, 7GIG827, 7DFD667. 8ZYB809, 7AVH937. Remember, this is the entity that engaged in kidnapping and sought to create a criminal case that did not exist. They sought to create a case for mental incapacity on my behalf that did not exist, that had no history, had no basis for it whatsoever. All right? This same entity engages in what is the creation of a narrative where people just mysteriously disappear, they die, they suffer quote-unquote accidents. This is the same entity that engages in that. As I'm revealing the pattern of conduct, understand the implications of what's going on, what you're witnessing on the news, and the ways in which you're told about what's happening. These are the minions that are engaging in that. And this is not just in California. This is the reality of Satan as it's working amongst the people in the government. Public corruption that you're not even aware of. All right, 8TVG364. The pattern of conduct is revealing the ability to engage in such malicious conduct that you remain ignorant of. You're talking about what is relying upon the narrative that's provided to you because you don't have any basis to question it anyway, and you are tending to believe what you're told on the news, which is unfortunate. License 43033V1. 8BSS829. 8MUU671. License 8WBX173. (17200L2). 8YPP407, 6YJU316. (8ADT762). 93253R2. 4LKU491, I believe. 4JKU491. 8TTJ158. Um, 6YAF123. 5DTH758. 6CMR645. 4E27113. 8SWG818. 8WLV216. 7UAW886. 4RGP721. 40934F3. 8ADX 732. Eight 4925 K1. S.I.I.S 125. Excuse me, 6SIH, yeah, 125. 8FXB 289. 7EQE 997. 5WOA 598. 11ELIVN BE38N89 paper. 8HCK 323. 144P16 Nevada. 5CQY 569. Vehicle 1228, that's Yellow Cab Company, license 37497J2. KZE 102. License 7XYC 537. FedEx stalking in the path with light activity at Semi's Market 5 on Euclid Avenue. 8YQS 419. 8VFZ 378. 7WWN 665. 8NUT 907. 8TTC 665. And also this minion, Brian Brandt, that law office, he's a minion. That's an attorney who, at the corner across from Sammy's Market 5. Group stalking with FedEx, flashing light activity. That's a demon stalking the path with light activity. It's currently 9:40 a.m. and those are facilitating venues. License plates 8BKW634, 8ZBL454, 25106F2. 7GUA 374, 6CJW 255, 8GLD 111. $63905G3, 433VW handicap, 7KKH153, 5BA-OZC Arizona, 7ETA913, 7CUJ018, 7XRW655, 6525332, 5GPB146, 7P29557, 8USJ658, 9848783, 8ATT924, 8825229. It's called amplification. It's demonic. American Medical Responses Group stalking, monitoring to the amplified audible activity at 477 Euclid Avenue. License, it's 9:41 a.m. License plate 8XIS625. And that's at 9:42 a.m. Metrolink proceeding what is eastbound on the train tracks amongst amplified audible activity. That's Metrolink engaging in terrorism and facilitating federal group stalking and monitoring. It is 9:42 a.m. T97013 7H68718 8UKD811 7NLG 746 8YFY138 8RHT428 6ZNB 557 15353 3F2 8UVB945, 7JWR962, 7GJJ175, 8GMH145, 7JLN095, 31031F3, or 31031E3. I think it's an E3. License 9G24600, that is CJS Logistics LLC. License 8NGT828. She's studying her communication device while she's group stalking. She's monitoring. License 7RNZ512, 8F98028, 78WY177, 8VWD928, 8FAF230, 7H13983, 5VXG638, 7VPP952, 8PDC305. It's currently 9:43 a.m. All right, this is the identity of the entity that's a sex offender. They're monitoring in the bathroom while they're engaging in ongoing surveillance. The entity keeps a fake sun over this up in public library all day while I'm here, up into my my exit, which I've also documented. And this is the sex offender, as I'm just identifying more of the same, engaging in sexual violence. The surveillance does not take a pause, and so it's still underway. Even after I'm capturing their names, they're engaging in that very conduct, crossing a path, keeping the entity is surrounding while I remain inside of a venue, that being the Upland Public Library. And that's why I'm showing you the entity that is stalking with a fake sun that's surrounding the venue where I'm at. The location is a venue by virtue of what is the presence of that directed light, that fake sun, the presence of the people who are group stalking on behalf of the state. And so that's understanding what is a venue. That's where, in that you don't have any form. Where you live is a venue, where you're working is a venue, where you're present is a venue. The entity is engaging in what is surrounding at all times, at every place, and in absolutely unhindered manner, because it is literally by the provisions of what is satanic. All right, this is understanding at the same time criminal conduct and what is demonic activity, and the truth of how Satan operates, and the identification of what is demonic. And it's based on the environment that you're in. That environment is, as a matter of fact, scientific fact, a scientific impossibility that it is occurring. And it is perpetually occurring because you remain subject to a pattern of conduct, a very specific pattern of conduct, from which there is no shelter from prosecution at all. It's currently 9:45 a.m. This is P.O.C. at the Upland Public Library. And this is what the entity is doing, sounding plane engines, group stalking by plane and helicopter, while my panties are down, using the restroom. That's the sex offender that I'm documenting. Alrighty? And this minion is monitoring inside of the entrance with a minor child. All right, just capturing what is the demon possession, first of all, and also the criminal conduct. And you're going to prosecute the criminal activity of the people of the state of that specific condition while they're doing so on behalf of the government. And then you're carrying that criminal conduct, understand that carries into the bathroom. The sex offenders that are monitoring, patrolling all around, being essentially the legs and the feet and the mouthpiece of the state that is placing you under surveillance. And that's exactly what I captured. It's 9:46 a.m. and you'll see this minion who is pacing around the entrance. She's stalking in the path while the entity is flying over the Upland Public Library by plane, and you can hear the amplified audible activity of it. I captured her image. She's monitoring on behalf of the entity. The entity is still driving around. They're monitoring together with communication devices. All right, so you're understanding what is the target individual, and then all around the target individual is just swirling of the third parties, the state, and third parties maintaining presence on an ongoing, constant basis all around. That's what group stalking is, and it's entirely satanic. And this third party is engaging in that criminal conduct, that terrorism with a minor child. It's 9:47 a.m. License 5RQC285, 8GTC291, 8UCN020. The Upland Police are group stalking inside of the parking lot of the Upland City Hall as well. The fake sun is right over me as I captured in still images. And as I've already documented before, that's what I captured at 9, where the, I'm sorry, it was before 9 o'clock, where I'm standing on the sidewalk. The fake sun is at the same position as I stated, where it is at 10 o'clock. It's 9:52 a.m. It's about to be 10 o'clock. And it's beyond 10 o'clock. It's into the, you're talking about after 5 p.m. This is capturing the P.O.C, where the entity is group stalking, and doing so with minor kids. 6S XB018, they're a bunch of demons. 78EG253. BV56820 paper, 8HNS391. It's audible activity. DC 708 handicap, 8YOG483. 7TXM420, 8JXY952. 66799H1. And this demon, group stalking with directed light, moves his truck as I walk by. That's stalking with activity. 62101B. It's 9:54 a.m. Seven WKC 275, 8XHM 256, 9 AFX 188, 8 ZYM 806, 6 W53622, 6 WVF 265. J Yi Construction Company is group stalking with the police as well. License 8M14212, 39428Y2, 8HPN987, 7URS248, 7ZTF088, 6HCE216, MUSKRT. She's a sex offender. She molested me. I documented that. 7PRY930, 5KZS957. 7YDF006, 8ULT017, LVMADSN. Upland Police group stalking, 1567633, GROKON, and it's 9:55 a.m. All right, capturing Upland Police at the state facilitating venue in the same exact specific environment, monitoring in relevant position, capturing still images of that group stalker. This is the Upland Police Department. He's got a tattoo on his right forearm. That's a specific identification of that officer engaging in the P.O.C. Crossing path while walking out of the building with what is a third party with him. 1603322. That's a license plate, City of Ontario. 8YYB951, 8VOH333. The entity is flying over the Upland Public Library by aircraft. Remember that. The entity is monitoring with these group stalkers who are holding the hands of children. That's nothing other than engaging in those under the age of majority in the criminal conduct. They're walking around in engineer light. Children are engaged in the activity creation for monitoring demonic conduct, terrorism, sexual violence with the police who are at the same venue. Understand that. 7MVE024. 8EDL288, 7FAS 800, 8ZUF, I think I read that one, but 8ZUF 471, 41706D2, 48251C2, 82381F3, 79917B3, 6XDR 335, 7EQH591, 8MHX956, 8XPZ520, 8YHE877, 48074M2, 8Z06026, 6ZAT424, 8NNK656, 8TWT251, 79498U1, 58EL716, 7ROW568, 5WBV915, 7NWV442, I think I might have read 8GGX 731, 8NGM 369. These are those that are parked in the parking lot of the state facilitating venue between the San Bernardino County Fire Station, the Upland District, the Upland City Hall, the Upland Police, not the Upland Police Department, Upland Police, our group stalking here, but the Upland Public Library and the Carnegie Library, Molly Super, okay, the Upland Unified School District, where the entity is keeping a fake sun. Here, it's right here over my head now. The entity, it's still here over my head as I exit after 6:30, as I've documented. 8SGN 081. This is, again, revealing all at the same time demonic conduct, demonic activity, and criminal surveillance. That's why the environment is here. And the environment is present at what is a state facilitating venue. No exception to the pattern of conduct being documented at what is a city hall, 6HCE 216, amongst a police department, the Upland Police. All right, it is currently 9:58 a.m. Alrighty, the Upland Public Library. State facilitating venue where ongoing surveillance remains underway. The entity keeping engineered light inside of that venue. The people of the state engaging in what is nothing other than surveillance on behalf of that state. And doing so, also the sex offender. So understand the documentation, the continuous pattern of conduct, and this is the sex offender that is engaging in surveillance inside of the private space. That is the bathroom inside of the venue where you're subject to surveillance. It's 9:59 a.m. This is P.O.C. Good morning, Ms. Randolph. All right, documentation published of the people of the state, and this is the exact same entity acting directly and vicariously. This is the government that's engaged in obsessive stalking by helicopters and demon-possessed police departments who have permittance into what is a private space where the government and demon-possessed police officers have no business inside of, placing you under surveillance, stalking you, and doing it vicariously through what is the system of what is group stalking. And this is the perpetual sex offender in action. And this is what I'm capturing. This is the perpetual sex offender in custody of minor children, sexually targeting another inside of the private space in order to engage in what is that group stalking presence on behalf of that government that is present with directed light inside of the venue, while the fake sun is directly over this demon's head who's in custody of minor children, while she's walking up the staircase inside of the Upland Public Library. Let me be clear, this is a vivid image of the demonic. That is a quintessential image of what is absolutely of Satan. And so you're looking at what is the light source that's directly above her head as she's walking up the staircase. It's 3:26 in the afternoon. That same position of the light source, the entity is engaging in this at 10 o'clock in the morning while I'm standing at the entrance. Understand where the windows are. They are just feet away from what is the entrance of the doors. I stand outside of the entrance of the doors at 9 o'clock in the morning. Literally, 9:08 in the morning, 9:45 in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, okay? And the light source is in that same exact position. That is a scientific impossibility that is capturing the demonic. This is a demon that is in the custody of children, that they are serving a criminal purpose. Also, children are subject to the same condition, demon possession. I'm revealing that as well. But aside from that, for purposes of the elements of monitoring, this is a demon who is in the custody of minor children, engaging in what is first demonic. So you're terrorizing another. You are sexually targeting another. This is entirely predatory. It's sexual violence. And you're including children in that sexual violence. This is in concert with the people of the state, and the venue is the Upland Public Library. The entirety of the entity that I documented today, but you're understanding what's beyond today. I named more that are adding onto a roster with it, which is serving the purpose of widely publishing criminal conduct and sexual violence by government, placing an American citizen under surveillance. It goes beyond the minions that I identified on my podcast today. All of those license plates, all of those company names that are engaging in this sexual violence that is underway as I capture it while I am inside of the bathroom. And that demon, again, the demon-possessed have no business, have no place whatsoever inside of the private spaces where American citizens are due what is a right to privacy inside of a bathroom. You are of a specific condition in that specific environment. That environment is the direct evidence of the criminal conduct that you enter in with the criminal intent, the motive, the sexually predatory intent to place another under surveillance. And you are entirely demented. You are an entire psychopath and a violent sex offender who is then also clutching the hands of children and doing it on surveillance cameras. This is all matter of what is impunity. Understand that. That's what I'm revealing to you, the high level of malice that the demon-possessed population engage in. And it includes all the minions whose license plates I read. The fake sun is by evidence, as I'm capturing it on in images, as you see these demons climb up the stairs after group stalking inside of the bathroom. Let me be clear, a demon maintaining ongoing surveillance with knowledge of when your panties are up or down is no less of a sex offender. It's no less sexually offensive as they wait until you pull your panties up to stalk you in the bathroom physically. Or after you wait until you flush the toilet or wait until you pull your pants up. I just want to be clear. The entity is engaging in what is surveillance of everything that is occurring. It is a matter of it's public corruption. It's a matter of public information. What is going on in the bathroom? Understand that. These demons, as I'm standing on Euclid Avenue and I'm reading their license plates for over an hour and a half this morning, let me be clear. The demon possessed, in the same way that you're witnessing the supernatural, while the impossible occurrence of what appears to be light or the reflection of the vehicles is appearing on a bus bench, while light is appearing on walls and the asphalt and spreading across the street while they're doing nothing other than driving a vehicle, while light is creating what is multiple shadows, while light does not disappear as you step into it, but it sits on top of your person. That's not ordinary light. That's demonic. These same demons, let me be clear, while they're driving on the street, it is a matter of widely publicized information where you are, including in the bathroom, and what you are doing. Understand the sexual violence of the demon possessed. You are dealing with Satan, who knows exactly where you are, maintaining an entire environment around you. It is also Satan that you are dealing with that then enters into the bathroom. Satan is also in the custody of children, which is also serving for what is both malice to appear as though you're less of a sex offender. This is the way in which the entity is relying upon their outward appearance, by the way. And it is also their little activity creators, okay? And they are also of that same condition, demon possession. All right. And they are acting pursuant to the pattern of conduct. And so I'm showing you what is directed light that's aiming downward onto the floor inside. That is a suggestion of what is a scientific impossibility, that the sun would, under any circumstances, at any time of year, daylight savings time or not, be present over the, for example, Fontana Lewis Library, over the roof of that venue, visible outside of the window of Sierra and Spring Street, remaining over me at the Chino Branch Library, in perfect alignment with me as I walk in and out, capturing video of where the light source is remaining. It is not moving from the Chino Branch Library over that entranceway, over that parking lot area, and also remaining under no circumstances would it ever. And I'm speaking of the sun with regard to what's supposedly the natural environment. I'm revealing what is in conflict, with what is revealed to us with what we understand as a natural environment. This is an unnatural environment. This is a scientific impossibility. Hence the term a fake sun, okay, which is the context to the criminal conduct and the sexual violence that those who are present in that environment, group stalkers, are in on behalf of the state, federal group stalking and monitoring. The actual sun would never be present over the Upland Public Library or any address from, for example, 9:08 in the morning until 3:26 p.m., which is what I've captured right now while that fake sun is directly over that demon's head while she's clutching the hands of children with whom she is including while she is sexually violating an American citizen. That's exactly what that is. That's a pervert that's entering the bathroom, placing you under surveillance, engaging in the elements of monitoring, doing so on behalf of an entire people who are fully engaged in what is the invasion of privacy as an entity, on behalf of a government that engages in a pattern of stalking by helicopters and by law enforcement, the entity engaging in what is ongoing knowledge of what's going on in the bathroom while it amplifies noise inside of that bathroom. Understand the converse of that. They are also listening to what's going on in the bathroom. That's why you have that impossible activity created inside of that space. It's an ongoing indication of the fact that everything that you're doing is a matter of public information amongst demons who are surrounding you and who are conducting themselves as though they are impervious to documentation and being prosecuted. That's an impermissible threat of a sex offender. It is a grounds of federal prison. While that sex offender is also monitoring your documentation of the fact that they are sexually targeting you in a bathroom. That's what the government is doing by helicopter. How does that demon-possessed state actor that is stalking by helicopter enter inside of the bathroom? besides walking in, stepping out of that helicopter and walking in the bathroom next to me. They do so through the very demons who are group stalking inside of the venue. That's how. That's what the system of group stalking is. Now, those that like to engage in the bidding of the government shall go to federal prison with that government, because the government itself, the state of California, this is speaking to what is revealing public corruption, and there's going to be a strip down of what is the government that's going to federal prison for this criminal system that I'm revealing. And I'm also revealing what is very real and relevant to your everyday life wherever you are, even outside of the U.S., which is what you need to know about, apparently. And that's exactly what I'm speaking the truth to. And that is the reality of Satan, the reality of demonic activity, and the ways in which it is present in your everyday life, regardless of whatever it is that you claim to believe in or don't believe in, and whatever it is that you affirm as real or not real. One thing that we all can agree on, and that's fact as well, is scientific facts. Okay. And it is a fact that the actual sun, the sun that is based on what we all understand to be the sun that's in the sky above us, there's supposedly only one. We all agree on that. There's the sun that's supposedly engaged in ongoing movement. You're talking about what is an impossibility, a scientific impossibility, as I'm capturing this light source above this demon's head who is sexually targeting me, and with a straight face doing so, holding the hands of children on behalf of the government that is monitoring through her and through the rest of those demons that are present inside of this venue, many of whom I've captured in still images, are present engaging in what is group stalking and doing so under the fake sun at 3:26 p.m. No, that is not the sun. That is never going to be the sun. That's in direct conflict with what are scientific facts that supposedly inform us and surround this supposedly natural environment that we reference ordinarily and as what is the sun. That's an impossibility. And that is the same presence where you're seeing that fake sun over that staircase while she's walking up that staircase, crossing path and doing so in engineered light. She's monitoring as I'm capturing the picture, and she was also monitoring me in the bathroom. You have what is, as I'm referencing, she do not be confused, as I'm referencing that particular demon who was of the female gender. I am referencing the people of the state. The people, individuals, are acting as an entity. This is not an individual stalker. That is a demon-possessed third-party group stalker, but that third party is acting as the people of the state. And the people of the state are going to be prosecuted for this direct evidence of sexual violence on behalf of the state. This is the sex offender, the perpetual sex offender, the people of the state of California. It's 3:37 p.m. and the entity is keeping a light source, as you see, directly over the roof of the Upland Public Library, mutually exclusive to being present. It's not going to somehow magically be over. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Actually, it would be if I were to leave and go back to Holt Boulevard at the B&G Plaza, then the light source would leave from being over the roof of the Upland Public Library and be at Holt Boulevard and Euclid Avenue, hovering over me as I was sitting at that bus bench yesterday at 4:46 p.m. as I documented. All right. And as I documented the Sunday before last at what is 3:32 p.m. while I'm on Holt Boulevard, and Tracy Banks is driving east on that same street where I'm approaching the same B&G Plaza, and then at 3:35 p.m. where I'm inside of that, in front of that same exact Shiro's Liquor at the B&G Plaza where the fake sun was present based on my location there, not over any roof of the Upland Public Library. Okay, and that is not occurring at the same time, again, as I stated, nor at the same time is the sun, not only is it not maintaining a zenith in two different cities at those two different locations at the same time. The zenith is a very peculiar act of the sun, if you will. It's occurring not over everybody, everywhere at the same time for the duration of the day. Okay, which is what the entity is doing with the light source as I'm documenting it. In addition to that, you are also breaking down the implausible and untenable position that the sun, this alleged sun, is remaining over both addresses all day long. Okay, so it's both remaining over the Upland Public Library all day long. And by all day long, I mean from the point of entry. I'm here in the morning. I've been here as early as 8:45 a.m. because this is mimicking what's supposed to be the sun, which doesn't change. This is supposedly the sun. It's not the sun. But you're going to reference that documentation. Well, the sun is already documented in its zenith over my head at the same exact property as early as 8:45 in the morning. And that's just within 2022, within daylight savings time. I documented it earlier than that. You're talking about on the bus, and it's moving right over the Upland Public Library at 7:45 in the morning. All right, going up and down the same street, Euclid Avenue, for me to return, and it's over at 10 o'clock and remains over the roof until I exit at 5:56 p.m. All right, after 6 p.m. This is the P.O.C. And that is not the sun that would be present, the bottom line, at 3:26 p.m. over the roof. You clearly see it. You see directed light inside on the floor as though that's the sun necessarily over the roof. It's not over the roof of the Chino Branch Library. It's not over some parking lot in Chino, California for that light to appear on the floor inside of the Upland Public Library. Like I said, it's very exclusive sky space. All right. You're talking about what the entity is doing. You're suggesting that there's some sort of gymnastics where the sun is over somebody's house in downtown Los Angeles. All right. Over the Los Angeles airport, for example, and over the 110 freeway in Los Angeles, over the mansion in Calabasas, over the Kardashians' mansion, over their backyard, which you've seen many a times on their TV show, their reality show. You can reference this because you're looking at it. It's impossible to be the case while the entity is aiming light through the roof of the Upland Public Library onto the floor, as though, again, suggesting that that is the one exclusive sun that is over the roof of the Upland Public Library, aiming light downward onto the floors and onto the walls. That's how exclusive that documentation is. And it goes for everybody else in every other state, by the way, because there's only one sun, supposedly. All right? That's what is stalking with light, and that's how you are surrounding an entity with what is irreconcilable, incontrovertible, and insurmountable direct evidence of federal stalking. Federal stalking occurring in a bathroom, that's the perpetual sex offender. All right. And those are demons that engage in that. Demons that know what you're doing, not because we're engaging in what is placing mechanisms inside of the bathroom like an ordinary sex offender. All right. These are demons. This is Satan, who knows what you're doing, knows when your panties are down, knows what you're doing when they're not even physically looking at you. Entering inside of that bathroom is crossing path conduct. This is the interstate stalking conduct that's occurring in a bathroom. This is legally relevant, everything that's occurring and inside and around the bathroom, directed light outside of the door of the bathroom. This is all manner of what is understanding the evidence of that sex offense, and then doing so as a demon who is already sexually violating you. I'm revealing to you what's demonic activity and the ways in which you're being violated amongst those that are of this condition, demon possession, and you don't even know their condition. All right, they're keeping a straight face while they know exactly what you were just doing in the bathroom. While you leave them at the table, you're having lunch with them, you go to the bathroom, and they know everything that's going on in the bathroom. You're dealing with Satan. That's the reality. But with regard to what is the criminal conduct, those demons, that's relevant, their condition, while they're entering inside of the bathroom, group stalking on behalf of the state in what is directed light under the fake sun, that's a prosecution as that sex offender. Okay? So anyway, it's currently 3:42 p.m. This is documentation of Tracy Randolph and Katie. All right, the employees here that are group stalking. This is the prosecution of the entity. Every last license plate that I read this morning, this is documentation of what is the criminal conduct that they're engaging in right now. They're sex offenders. While they are monitoring me on the street, they're monitoring me in the bathroom. That criminal conduct doesn't stop while they're group stalking on the street, while they're crossing path with directed light under the fake sun while I stand outside. They're documented as sex offenders that are engaging in surveillance in the private space right now. Okay? It's 3:42 p.m. This is P.O.C. This is the people of the state stalking in the private space. It's 6:41 p.m. Upland Public Library. This is P.O.C. That's the people of the state. Those are demons that are stalking in the bathroom. Already 6:41 p.m. and that is again the entity amplifying the audible activity in the bathroom while the entity is stalking in the bathroom. The people of the state who the entity keeps a fake sun, engineered light inside of this venue so that surveillance may proceed and continue unhindered. Where the people of the state are group stalking as a demon-possessed population. It's not just the fact that you're stalking, you're also a demon stalking, and then you're stalking in a bathroom. There's so many layers to that entirely demented and predatory conduct. And the people of the state are surrounding outside of the restroom as well. And then this includes, thank you. What's your name again? What's your name? Casey? Okay. Yeah, Casey is monitoring in the bathroom. Casey's a violent sex offender. Katie is present, group stalking. Katie is the tall female with the purple hair in the bun. She's group stalking while I'm in study room number 1 as well. And monitoring with the demons who enter inside of the bathroom. All the entity is doing is maintaining presence. So you have demons that enter in, just entering in and creating what is ongoing activity, and demons whose objective is to maintain presence all around. That obsessive stalking continues in the bathroom. Okay, and so you're understanding what is the entity that you see as I capture stalking obsessively by helicopter and demon-possessed police departments. That entity is present in the bathroom. All right, that's what vicarious presence is. That's what group stalking is, and they are all engaging in what is entirely demonic. while they are chasing into a bathroom, one whom they are monitoring, and I am documenting it. So the entity is also sending what is an unlawful threat, sending a message, communicating an unlawful threat while they continuously engage in that stalking conduct, which is that of the sex offender. All right, monitoring in the bathroom is license 7NHW281, 7WFR274, NOREENA. And you can see that demon walking in directed light with the NOREENA license plate, monitoring me while my panties are down. And let me show you the fake sun as well. Alrighty, that is 53459U2, bathroom monitoring, license 8LXK885, 8SCC116, and it is currently 6:44 p.m. This is P.O.C. License 8CKH492, and I am on surveillance cameras exiting the Upland Public Library as I asked for this demon's name, Casey. All right, bathroom monitoring with Tracy Randolph, who I'm documenting engaging in the pattern of conduct 8BNR712. This is being surrounded by what are violent sex offenders. Group stalking is an inherently sexually violent criminal act by a government of a specific condition, and it is demon possession. It is the work of Satan, and this demonic activity is what is criminal, and I am advocating what is federal legislation that goes farther than existing federal law that this entity is in violation of, which is Title 18, Section 2261A, subsections 1 and 2. The criminalization of what is demonic activity, breaking down the pattern of conduct of a demon-possessed population that's engaging in what is a matter of public corruption, the criminal system occurring in what is an environment that surrounds American citizens, and they're not even aware of it, and they're subject to criminal conduct, invading what are your liberties, your freedoms that you have under a constitution, unbeknownst to you, but this is that which you are fully capable of maintaining ongoing real-time awareness of. And the criminal system as it surrounds you, it's entirely demented, but it is absolutely knowable with regard to the demonic activity that you're surrounded by. And so that is the pattern of conduct of federal group stalking and monitoring. Group stalking is entirely demonic, and that's also why you have what is the necessity of third parties, as they're referred to, and you have the absolute denial and the unspoken system as it is, because the agenda of Satan itself is to literally maintain the fallacy that Satan does not exist. Satan is not real. Evil in and of itself is just an idea, all right? No, and that's not true. This is absolutely demonic. And with regard to what is the creation of policy to address what is criminal, albeit entirely demented, right? You are addressing what is scientific impossibilities. That's the scientific impossibility of the environment that the demon-possessed are in. And that is the scientific impossibility of the conduct that the demon-possessed engage in. And that is the entity that is engaging in that for purposes of engaging in what is criminal surveillance with communication devices. And that's the demonic system of federal group stalking and monitoring. So anyway, this is documentation of what is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. They're monitoring, and they're doing so while physically indisposed inside of the private space, monitoring the documentation, the obsessed stalker in every regard. The entity that I'm capturing in hundreds of videos, stalking by helicopter, is engaging in that ongoing stalking conduct that's not taking a pause, and I'm showing you how that government, that demon-possessed entity that is stalking me and pursuing and following everywhere that I go in the incredible method of what is even helicopter, okay? That entity is present in a bathroom, not by helicopter, but by the demons who I'm documenting. Group stalking in a bathroom. Okay, the fact that you're group stalking and then you're group stalking in a bathroom. It is a picture of what is absolutely both pathetic and also entirely perverted. It is extreme, it's unfathomable. And that is speaking to what is the perpetual sex offender. That is the people of the state. That is the state of California, which shall be prosecuted as the perpetual sex offender. It's currently, by the way, 6:47 p.m. This is P.O.C. (7HLE155), and they're all molesting. And the fake sun remains right on the same street, Euclid Avenue, as I captured NOREENA, that license plate, group stalking, monitoring, that old man monitoring while my panties are down, and molesting me with what is directed light while he's group stalking under that fake sun and engineered light. 4JDS 959 1144 9B1, 8WPN 798. They're all driving on the same exact street where I stood this morning, and that fake sun, necessarily a fake sun, and that's why it's referred to it in that manner, because it's an unnatural environment. It is an environment that is in direct conflict with our scientific facts as to how the natural environment operates, how it works. And it does not include, under any circumstances, at any time of year, what is the sun that would be present on the same street over the same address from 8:50 in the morning until upon my exit, which is after 6:30 p.m. That's an impossibility. That impossibility is what is the context of the ongoing presence of the people that surround, and they are referred to as what our group stalkers, and their specific condition is demon possession. And that is also how you know them. 8 UAF 651-1605842. Their conduct with directed light. Their conduct with directed light is the ongoing evidence of their condition. And that is an entity that's engaging in what is stalking and honking the horn as though I'm in their way. 7YEX218. That's a psychopath. Everything that I document is going toward their prosecution. Everything. 7SHY481. You are not in the way. You are not blocking someone who was present in order to follow you. That's what these group stalkers are doing, and the totality of that environment. And no honking or absurdly rude conduct is in any way rebutting what is that direct evidence. You're understanding what is the psychopath conduct. That's Satan. That's the personality of Satan. All right? That's the psychopath that says, oh, I'm going to call the police, and the police are stalking with you. You're calling the police and securing your placement in federal prison. That's all it is. They're psychos. 7LZS877. That honking of the horn, by the way, the honking of the horn is nothing but audible activity. It's while it's occurring under what is a fake sun that remains on the same street. It's also a demon that's hostile while I'm documenting them. 8ULU757 is engaging in what is that harassment and terrorism while they're sexually violating, group stalking in a bathroom. This is the same entity. 6VST053. It's currently 6:50 p.m. All right, loitering in relevant position across from it looks like winter solstice. You have minions that are maintaining presence in perfect alignment while I'm at the bus stop at 9th Street in Euclid. 9AEY413, they are monitoring at Hoff Orthodontics. All right, this is the third-party facilitating venue. Group stalking, 6ZNB380. This is also the venue where the entity is engaging in what is harassment, while you hear a stalker that's honking as though I'm in the way, and they're here to monitor me. 6PDB786. That's the conduct that you're going to prosecute. That's a whole psychopath right there. That's what I mean. The unbalanced and highly delusional psychopath. That's the threat to the public. License 7RTZ241. License 7CWJ370. 8AYU781, 8TQP881, license JEWLEEA, 8XRZ966, 7MBP075, and it's currently 6:52 p.m. License 3FEV016. That's amplified audible activity. Just making noise while the entity keeps engineered light all around. That's the demonic pattern of conduct. And this is at what is Hoff Orthodontics. That's where I'm standing. This is the venue. Allure Image, 711 at 204 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. 8XPB807, 7JJL810. A part of that ongoing monitoring conduct, 7PFP399. Eight AIE651. 8PDU066, 8DHG341, 8 8B24959, 8LAE471, 8YWD844. And again, as I stated yesterday, when I remain in Ontario on Hope Boulevard at the B&G Plaza yesterday, 8BTW773. So I'm capturing this old Caucasian male who's a sex offender monitoring me while my panties are down in the bathroom, while the people of the state enter inside of that bathroom for his criminal cooperative purposes, both of them, all of them in concert with the state. 7YDG299, I'm showing you what is the directed light. I'm showing you what is the fake sun that's in perfect alignment with that entrance of the Upper Public Library, which is not anywhere along what is Hope Boulevard, aiming any sort of light as you see it along Hope Boulevard into the Shiro's Liquor, as though that's the sun that's right there over Hope Boulevard. That is mutually exclusive. That's stalking. That is the sex offender that is stalking me. 8YQU170, a psychopath honking their horn while they are stalking you as though you are then in their way. Not only is that activity creation, that is the psychopath. And they are under what is the direct evidence. 7LWE465. And that is speaking to, again, the ways in which you're going to restrain those demons as they demonstrate their unbalanced mindsets. 8ZQH758, 8RJH341. You're stalking someone. The fact that you are stalking and the ways in which the entity is stalking is directly relevant to the mind state, the unstable mind state, which it's immediately drawn into question. It's directly relevant while you're prosecuting federal group stalking and monitoring. Just want to bring that up. The pattern of conduct is a very disturbing pattern of conduct. It is highly abnormal. It is suggesting what is an imbalance, what is mental issues with regard to the demonic conduct that is underway by a people who also engage in this conduct with the intent to maliciously engage in it and terrorize another. 7ZAD143, 7MAN23, 7ZTX280, 5RAP247, 55048M2, 8HRU106, EB638 handicap, 7YAX691, 5KRH564, GS237 handicap, and the placement of that light source in perfect alignment with me at the entrance where this old white man, this sex offender who I'm documenting, engaging in crossing a path, creating activity as I'm outside of the bathroom. He is monitoring group stalking irrelevant position while I'm inside of the bathroom, and the people of the state enter in to engage in what is ongoing surveillance, obsessive stalking on behalf of that government that likes to stalk by helicopter. All right, that's how that demon-possessed government is maintaining presence around me. License plate 4YTN334. That's how that demon-possessed government that is obsessed, my stalker, the state of California, wants to stalk me in the bathroom and wants to maintain ongoing close presence to me where I sleep, where I remove my underwear, where I'm inside of that private space. That obsessed government, that demon-possessed entity, is present via the people of the state of that same exact condition, which is demonstrated by their demented conduct of stalking with light, being present under what is a fake sun, being present while the entity surrounds with directed light, as you see inside of the Upper Public Library. 97703D3. Demons do that. Alrighty, and it is currently 6:57 p.m. That light source that is in alignment with me at that entrance of the Upper Public Library is the light source. It is not the actual sun. And the two are not occurring at the same time. I came nowhere on Route 83, as I talked about while I was in Ontario on Hope Boulevard. The light source remained right there over me. There was no point where it was setting along Euclid Avenue and Hope Boulevard as I arrived on the bus. So that is the pattern of conduct. Hello. And it is 6:57 p.m. All right, license 7ULJ234, GC1806, that's Wisconsin, 8TWJ903. Capturing still images of the demons that group stalk on the bus. And so while you see this minion sitting on the bus next to me, that's called relevant position. The entity is aiming directed light onto the bus, and the fake sun is remaining in alignment with me while the bus is driving southbound. And I capture that in still images. You're looking at what is group stalking, and this is how an entity places you under surveillance, the maintenance of presence in an environment that literally follows you around, and that environment is a scientific impossibility. Again, I'm on Euclid Avenue, the same street that I was on this morning, coming from the venue where I was present at 8:50 in the morning, showing you what is a light source that's right over my head. Going southbound is the direction that this bus is driving, while you see the light source moving southbound as I am remaining in the same position through a window in perfect alignment with where I'm even seated on the bus, and going and aiming light in that direction. You see the light source over this minion's head, and that's because the minion is group stalking on the bus. That's a picture of what is group stalking. in the same way that you see the fake sun over the heads of the minion that is walking up the stairs after stalking in the bathroom. That's a picture of group stalking. All right, the entity keeping a fake sun over the Upland Public Library while the people of the state maintain presence. That's a picture of group stalking, especially when you are understanding what is not possibly the sun, as that light source is present, again, on Euclid Avenue, aiming and light into the bus windows, into the depths, you're talking about on the floor. I've shown you what the light activity is on the bus. And going back to the same street where yesterday I'm already here, there is no light source that is moving southbound on the bus when I am in Ontario, remain in Ontario, as I capture on video at 4:48 p.m., at 5:56 p.m., at 6:13 p.m. The entity is keeping a fake sun over me as I capture on video in Ontario. But yet today, while I'm in Upland, going to Ontario, the light source is in Upland as I exit the Upland Public Library, where it remained all day long, which I documented. All right, and it is moving southbound as I move southbound and remaining to be present wherever it is that I depart this bus, which is an impossible occurrence because the actual sun is not both remaining stationary in Ontario, aiming light into Showers Liquor as though that's the sun next to the Metro 102 apartments at the same time, while also moving in real time while I'm coming from one city to that very same location. That's impossible. It is also impossible that the sun would be at that same location in Ontario at 7:50 in the morning, which is also published documentation. That is a picture of what is group stalking. Group stalking is demonic. All right, so in other words, this is a demon that's group stalking on the bus. These are demons that surround the bus. They're group stalking on the roads and the highways as I read their license plates. They're group stalking while they are operating the bus. All right, this is the system of federal group stalking and monitoring. It's 7:02 p.m. 05302X2. License plate, and the entity is touching all over the engineered light that I'm showing you inside of the Upland Public Library. It's touching all over the buildings along Euclid Avenue, 8EHV 943, as though the sun is remaining in a position such that the buildings north and south of Euclid Avenue are going to be covered with directed light after the entity keeps the fake sun directly above the buildings all day long. 6XSF 988. That is the maintenance of a light source. That is a non-movement of a light source. That's speaking to what is directed light, engineered light. That is the ongoing objective when you're under surveillance. All right, that's the P.O.C. I can't remember that one. 7XOU 882. I already read that. 05302X2, yeah. 7ULJ234, 8T46409, BF67Z01, paper, 8NSN051. ULJ234 is touching with directed light while they're group stalking on the side of the bus. That's a sex offender. License 24Z1174, the same, touching. DB654, handicap. 7RDZ656, and stalking with light is 8GUC 479. Stalking with light at what is the Bravo store, Verizon, the Zolo BD area, T-Mobile. Rio Money, Ontario Money Express at 101 South Euclid Avenue, stalking with light activity. 8EJT634, 7DUD064, 8BEN875, 7JBG080, 8GTL120, 8EHV943. 682YIC, and it is 7:05 p.m. This is P.O.C. All right, license 1234515, bus 1222, and this is getting off at 7:05 p.m. Route 87 is present. License 1545833, monitoring and taking a close-up image of a group stalker that's loitering in relevant position. 7XDE326 at the bus stop as I get off. That's a group stalker. 7DFN794, 78207E2. 8TWU669, 7TLA595, 4SED467, 7MBL111. And as again, at my arrival now at 7, which is where I remain, 6XBR144. Yesterday, as I remain on Holt Boulevard, and I am, again, east of what is Euclid Avenue. So because I'm at the bus stop, the entity's fake sun is advanced beyond what is this intersection. So that's why you see it next to Metro 102. Whereas I've already shown you the video where the entity's fake sun is, where I get off at the bus. It's right there diagonal to what is being over Rich's second jewelry and loan, where I am in the morning, as I documented 2 Sundays ago, 93114C3. Excuse me, not 2 Sundays ago, but I documented that on May 1st, 2022, I believe. And I'm on this same street in the morning, and the fake sun is over my head. That's where the fake sun is in the evening, and that's why I documented that. That is different from what I showed you yesterday, where the fake sun remains over me. It's advanced beyond Euclid Avenue. It's not behind Euclid Avenue. In other words, behind my back as I get off the bus. You see it right up where the Ontario police are group stalking, crossing path. That fake sun is beside Metro 102. All right, license 1545833. In other words, it's closer to the B&G Plaza. And as I'm right here getting off of the bus at Euclid and Holt, the fake sun, it remains relative to where I am. So it's behind me. It's not in front. Again, in other words, where in front of me is Metro 102 apartments, 7M73993. And you can observe that in that documentation. And that's exactly what I was pointing out yesterday. 17298D3, 9ADX. 121 MOEMUNY DA 45915, and these are the sex offenders that are monitoring while my panties are down. Okay, fake sun follows, same exact entity, 8CBR 773, 5KRN 382, 8UBE 677, 7ZGS 056, 7XGZ 249, 8VDJ 824, 8CEG 703. They're all group stalking. Directed light is spanning out in the intersection. They're driving in directed light. That directed light that appears on my person, it does not disappear when you walk in it. That directed light that sits on my body, that's what they're driving in. They're demons, and they're violent sex offenders stalking in a bathroom. And they're monitoring amongst what is light activity. That same license plate is maintaining presence on Euclid Avenue, where they're group stalking. 17298D3, 6ZTP043, BN769, I can't really see the rest of that one, 7VAD882, 6PQY892, BM48N54, paper, 4B56076, 9AKE429, 16589M2, 8ABH188, 8WBH, I can't really see the rest of that one, 14455E3, and it is 7:09 p.m. And let me see. Euclid and Holt is where, again, the entity is monitoring via T-Mobile at 100 South Euclid Avenue. This is where a demon is using their vehicle stalking with light activity, okay? Just like the entity 8SSM118. This is like the City of Ontario is doing this morning. 8AJG199, 7TGU975. Just like the entity is doing as I'm documenting at this intersection. Actually, all of my documentation, you're always witnessing what is a method of stalking with flashing light. That's the demonic behavioral pattern. It's visible activity. It is a method of activity creation. 7EKT141, 55211M2, 6T09125, 7KEU271, 7LJW600, 8RSW382, 05302X2, 6DTR146, 8YHJ399, 7MZE006, and these demons are manifesting light. They're driving in directed light, 4LLY963. They're also manifesting light, directed light in front of their cars. While the fake sun is hitting the passenger side of their vehicle, directed light is appearing in front of their car while they are monitoring. Group stalking, those are demons that engage in this monitoring conduct. And they're also engaging in what is monitoring with the Ontario police, okay? 8TIW076, every single last one of them. You're going to be prosecuting the people. 8GEL674, 8VGZ200, 7EVX548. License 8U43887, DB654, handicap 14581S2, 8EEY237. And while they're engaging in monitoring group stalking with the police and the perpetual sex offender that is group stalking with the police that are demon possessed, the police are stalking in concert with them, they are engaging in what is terrorism also by virtue of driving in directed light. It's entirely freaky, weird, creepy conduct. That's terrorism while people do that. 8YNY203 and manifesting light, 8TWJ463, 35544H2, 77536E1, 5KPJ641, 8VRW. I can't see the rest one. 8UGR719, 8WZV776, 7UMK337, 9ADL328, 7ZTN226, 8GQW276, 8YEV128, 6DKN472, 7LYV374, 8GIL344. And what is so pathetic about this entity while I'm prosecuting them, everything that they are doing is they are all at this intersection stalking me together. Whew, talk about pathetic. I mean, you're lagging around kids, you bore. I'm assuming you gave birth to, and you're stalking me. That's why the entity has what is impossible light, a scientific impossibility. Directed light is sitting in the middle of the intersection. You are here to stalk me. That's pathetic. Okay, and you've got hundreds of people that are doing this. This is a demon-possessed population, okay? 7XMK619, license D786D1, 8PFT277, 7YOU539, 6R12270, and Southwest Airlines, 3VSS061, 7GPX389, pathetic, 8VEN875, sex offender, 8ZXX765, 6UKL102. Absolutely pathetic. 7BST155. All right, and this is the same exact entity that is stalking by helicopter. All right, that's exactly what this is, the entity that is stalking by helicopter. Group stalking, demons, entirely pathetic beings. Everything about this is about me, and I'm prosecuting it, and I'm revealing, exposing it. License 6VAY622, 8KDC144, 33916M1, 8ZDY587. So I'm letting you know what is justice, what is necessary as justice, while thousands of people target and terrorize an American citizen. And it's called federal prison. And that's exactly where they're going. While I document hundreds, you're talking about what is federal prison. 6SSU317, you're talking about what is disbanding police agencies, okay? You're talking about what is federal prison for the fire departments, and they want to engage in criminal summoning with the ambulances, federal prison. The people of the state engaging in criminal summoning with the entity, federal prison, while thousands of people terrorize an American citizen. AZ14H36 paper, 7FJT582, United States Postal Service, license 7Z1888. License 8XGV324, 8XPW522, 6XIA103, 62995V2, 7UHF595, 8ZNT406, 4EOX354, 8UKA701, 7PAA205, 6NPE440, 6XSW495, 8UZE355, 8KTV348, 5PVW286, 8BTK082, Amazon Prime Group Stalking, license 6RBL556, 8XVZ236, 7FMC029, 2313283, that's Amazon, 5NDP003. And that third party whose license plate I recited while on the bus engaging in what is flashing of light, let me be clear, that is federal prison. The entity that is monitoring, engaging in what is boldly terrorizing you in your face while you're documenting the entity, that's the entity that's stalking by helicopter and by police officers, and they're holding hand with that demon-possessed entity. They go to federal prison for that. So I want to be clear, I read that license plate while I was on the bus at 7:15 p.m. They're engaged in massive facilitation for hundreds of people to monitor, which is an ongoing threat. All right, you go to federal prison for a long time for that. That's how you prosecute that. 6JAT272, 6XTR370, 8PCH822, 6FPW986, 8CHN382. And every minion inside of T-Mobile right here with a fake sun and this directed light is inside, they're all in groups, they're all in relevant position, monitoring inside of T-Mobile, okay? And like I said, inside of Zolo's BD area, inside of what is Bally Spa, the Verizon, the Dollar Express, that little shop over there, the entity is monitoring, that's massive light activity creation, while that demon is sitting there with their hazard lights on, parked on Euclid Avenue in alignment. License 25R4, I can't see the rest of it. 8VQS759, 7UHW328, 7NME709, 8HLV053, 8AXL793, 3WGP004, 5XHM098. Let's see. It's 7:16 p.m. License 7VVP 939 6T78321 8ZAR 716 8KST 641 5XHM098 6BPG 925 8POA 655 BRIAMBR 6A 69734 7WCR 540 7RGD 901 8PPT 313 8VLY 579 8TJF 704 7GBR 261 CB93G97 paper. Let's see. Group stalking in front of the Euclid Loan and Jewelry and Loan. Ontario Police 1546951, vehicle 1893, driving in the same exact directed light in the middle of the road under the fake sun. 11492Y1 6PTS 943 7ROZ 656. That's Omnitrans license 1302442. That's bus number 2356. 7FML 622. License 5KRH 564. 8SHN 975. 8H23073. 8PES 398. And what you're going to pay attention to again is you're listening to me document the entity. It's listening to the ways in which it shall be prosecuted. It's listening to the documentation of its criminal conduct and the personality of Satan, because that's what you're learning, and you're also witnessing what is referred to under the law. That's going to be prosecuted as what is impunity. The demon-possessed police officer who's group stalking, and they're listening to the fact that they are heavily documented. They are group stalking on an ongoing basis. While you're speaking to what is disbanding them, that is speaking to the pattern of conduct, 8PES 398. Group stalking with the people of the state, 7FYJ296. You disband such demon-infected agencies, not only because they're criminals, but because they're criminals with the people of the state, such as 5AQH284. You're literally unfit to be in that office. Literally. You're a criminal. And you're witnessing what is impunity. While I document them, they are also in real time monitoring what is being accumulated as evidence against it. That is directly relevant in the federal court. Okay, 8XO4598. 8ZDA780, excuse me. 8WKP271, 8947OW2, 7MWA327. License BU58V96. That's paper. This is criminal conduct as you're going to document and who's going to federal prison, such as many of the Ontario Police Department. And you're talking about what is disbanding. The agency is plagued with that condition. 8JCJ961. They are puppets of Satan. That is relevant for what is being unfit for that office. They're criminals. They're malicious criminals. They are closeted psychopaths. They actually pose a threat and a harm to the public, to society. Being of that condition in and of itself. Moreover than that, not only am I exposing that truth about them, I'm revealing their criminal conduct, which is directly tethered to their condition. You are only a group stalker when you are of Satan, when you are of this condition, which is relevant for what is terrorism. All right, in every way it's relevant. I just want to be clear. License, hold on. 8M92098. The entity that is engaging in this conduct and doing so, this is relevant to the ways in which many officers that are specifically documented, for example, Jason 910, the Officer Jay Burnett, S. Patty, the entity acting via the plethora of officers, let me get this license, 6GFL053, Lester Keys, that are going to federal prison, all right? This impunity, let me be clear, this is impunity that is illustrative of the entity. It likes to engage in criminal conduct as you document BF 46950. That attitude, okay, toward what is lawlessness, all right, that attitude while you're engaging in what is unlawful, that's directly relevant to those who are going to federal prison, such as Jason Knighton. It's the same exact agency, the same exact demon possession, the unprecedented criminal conduct, all right? In conformity to a demonic behavioral pattern and a pattern of engaging in what is group stalking while you want to obstruct justice. That's what that impunity is. All of that is relevant in the federal court, okay? So like I said, not only federal prison for a prolonged period. This is a matter of justice. And this is based on what is years of documentation. Listen to the demons sound sirens. They're going to federal prison. 7LXL361. This is real-time reaction to what I'm documenting. And they are going to federal prison. You're listening to the sickness that they are. 8SRE895, entirely sick. 7M73993. 7JXR329. 8BYN777. And that's criminal summoning the people of the state. All right, the entity engaging in what is the conduct, and it is revealing that's a conduct of a psychopath. You are going to federal prison, and then you engage in what is conduct, which is criminal, violating another, while you listen to literally, essentially, the charges against you. License 1532799, vehicle 1888, Ontario Police. 7CVA 616, and they're group stalking under a sun that is at the same exact intersection where I'm here at 7:50 in the morning. 8DQF361, and I already captured the video evidence of that. That's the environment that they're stalking in. At the directed light that's sitting in the middle of the intersection, that's what they're driving in while they're monitoring evidence. 8SAX072, and group stalking with Southwest Airlines, who's flying directly over me in directed light. All right, that's concerted conduct, and that's the absolutely inferior reaction of the demons that are the entity that's engaging in this group stalking. Let me be clear. All right, so yes, it's inferiority, but let me be clear. While these demons and this demonic activity is directly relevant to what is terrorism that they're engaging in, while they are placing another under surveillance, their entire criminal system has been exposed, and their criminal conduct has been organized such that it's going to be subject to a prosecution, not only under existing federal law, but additional federal legislation to address what is the demonic activity you're witnessing. Amplified audible activity, 59888P1. And Union Pacific is monitoring and threatening with the entity. 6WKD 045 8WES 194. And that is, again, the unfit for that position that they hold. That's the Ontario Police. That is how unfit they are, and they are obsessed with me. Stalking 8EZE338, and they are equally obsessed and listening to every syllable while they then engage in criminal summoning, which I'm going to prosecute the people of the state for as well, as I continue reading their license plates. And that's just because you're talking about what is Satan that's listening in real time while I'm prosecuting. It's so pathetic. And that you're not escaping it. That's what I'm saying. The federal charges they're just racking them up. 7NLZ929, 7GKE758, 8ZBA092, 5RDX918, 1469498, that is California exempt. License 8TWN727. 42311E3, 8UFR426, 7VMU607. And that, again, the unlawful stalking conduct by the police, that's grounds of federal prison. So I'm reciting that license plate. The police shall not engage in what is placing you under surveillance, threatening you in your face, especially while you're documenting it. They're going to federal prison. And then it's an impermissible threat because those demons are reacting to while they're listening to me document. That's an impermissible threat. You're going to federal prison for that. In addition to what is the ongoing pattern of kidnapping by those demons referred to as the Ontario Police Department. 7JHV944. Monitoring with the Ontario Police as I'm reading their license plates. The people are directly engaging in that threat together, and they shall be subject to the prosecution as well. License 74519E3. 8MVM969, group stalking with the Ontario Police Department. 8ZAR716. That includes Amazon Prime, Union Pacific, Southwest Airlines, Omnitrans. Okay, all the company names that I'm reciting. The people of the state holding such companies accountable. They're not hiding behind any sense of anonymity. 8CTX378. You're going to reach into companies, and very real life flesh and blood people will be going to federal prison. License plate 6T78321. 8LWL904, 7LQG913, 6DAV338, stalking with light, 8GFE178, 3PHH867, N104HL, license 8WOW134, 7GBM726, 7EHY743, U251XO. And understand that's also the sexually violent aspect as well. The sex offender, that is this entity, engages in ongoing sexual violence as you have literally nailed them with the evidence. And so you're talking about what is nothing other than defiance by a defeated entity. And you're going to prosecute for that. That's prosecuted as any other very violent sex offender. 8WAS 206, that's exactly what they are, okay? 6BLT 216, 9ASE 430, 8ZQE 843. That defiance is speaking to what is necessary when you're dealing with any other psychopath that's defiant with regard to their treatment, their necessary treatment, what they refuse to accept with regard to what is justice. You're going to treat that psychopath accordingly. HA 54327, 7GWE 017, license plate BF 78810, paper with a minor child, license 52855B3, 6JEE 892, 8TQCO25, Penske truck rental crossing path, 8KEV 576, 6YUX 292, 8ZUA 369, 7YGT 679, CC 54H66, paper, APF MASD 50262F1, 8URK 125, 9ADW 991, 8ZUA 369, in case I didn't read that one, 7XUD 616, I believe, 7NPR 201, 8CMY, I believe, I can't really see that one, 8MSK 691, 7NPR 201, 8CVM 443, 7CVH 1, you can scratch that. I couldn't see the third to last character. You can scratch that one. 7XUD 616, got that one. And license 7SNS 349. I read their license plate already. They're engaged in surveillance. That's fine. T-Mobile engaging in surveillance. License 8GEN 636. Actually, under the analysis, a facilitating venue is inherently engaged in surveillance. The people of the state are engaged in surveillance because they're maintaining presence on behalf of the state. But I want to document third parties that are stalking in the path by just getting in their car that's parked on the sidewalk. And they're stalking in the path, sitting in their car is their group stalking conduct in alignment because I'm standing here reciting license plates. And then they walk into the facilitating venue, which is Zolos BD area. License 7EIJ 595. Oh, you can scratch that. I can't see the one. 6UXB 172, 4X 17238. But I read their license plate already, so it's fine. 87073K3. Where I'm at, what the entity is doing right now while I'm documenting is relevant to the ways in which I'm going to, where you would custom size the prosecution of the people of the state. But again, the people of the state, every corner are catching these federal charges. Okay? Like I said, the people of the state is a criminal and they're going to be prosecuted. BN91R75, 8YCK661, 5RGN834, 6GJG303, 7UES572, 6BFU792, 5PZG617, 8 S.I.I.S 632, 21016E3, Ontario Police Group stalking at Rich's Second Jewelry and Loan, crossing path on Laurel, where the United States Postal Service is, just like they were while I was at the B&G Plaza, and they're group stalking, crossing path on Sultana, pacing all around me, demons, obsessed stalkers. And that's as a matter of evidence, okay? Whew. No, you don't have any business in law enforcement, all right? And all I'm doing is my duty. Not only am I going to expose you, I'm going to remove you. And you're also going to federal prison for a long time where those unbalanced psychopaths belong. You're talking about sex offenders in police uniforms. Anyway, license 8NRA 408, 7DRT 390, 7RVJ 679, and they are monitoring group stalking with the Ontario Police. All right, that is grounds of federal prison. All right, the ordinary target individual subject to what is stalking, seeing the police following them everywhere, that's a terrorizing threat. And then you have the ongoing obsession of the people of the state. They are a determined stalking entity, and you are going to federal prison as you isolate those minions at prosecution. You're group stalking with the police, you're going to federal prison, and that's why you document where you are, what's going on, what you're subject to, and who is cooperating with the government. Yes, the people of the state are cooperating, but while you're subject to perhaps a specific iteration of the P.O.C, for example, this third-party monitoring with OPD, SHORTIE, that's federal prison, all right? 6LPV 156. Now, the minions that are, I call them sleepers, in Northern California, where I have not been, where the pattern of conduct is already established. The entity is engaging in the pattern of conduct no matter where I go. You don't have to go to every corner of the state in order to prosecute the state that's placing you under surveillance. The P.O.C. is established. The precedent is established. But nonetheless, they are catching those federal charges. It's going on your record. It's a crime that you have committed. You're part of. The pattern of conduct is underway via the people of the state, wherever the people of the state are, wherever the target individual goes. And that's how you have what a satanic system is. It's present through the environment. And so that's how you're talking about what is SHORTIE, grounds of federal prison. But as a matter of what is prosecution for that crime, the people of the state engage in that together. And that is going on your criminal record. You're a terrorist. You're a sex offender. You're a kidnapper. All right. You're engaging in what is assault with a deadly weapon, multiple occasions of criminal assertion of false allegations, attempted kidnapping, criminal defamation. You're going to be prosecuted for that. The entity. All right. And so that's what's relevant while you're prosecuting, and podcast is a very effective method of doing so. It's currently 7:31 p.m. and that is the entity that is group stalking with the Ontario Police while those demons are pacing all around. And let me be clear, that's what the Ontario Police is doing on an ongoing basis. They're not taking any pause. They're not taking any break. They are obsessed stalkers, and the people of the state are as well. License 7WVT732, and you need to understand where that comes from. This is not a normal population. This is contrary to what you are actually aware of, and the truth is that demon possession is very real. The demon possessed seek to absorb themselves, appear normal, blend in with what are normal people that are not of that condition, like myself. And they're not normal, and that's what I'm showing you. And their conduct is entirely abnormal, and it's highly demented, and it is prosecuted as what is terrorism, while a whole people that are of that freakish condition are stalking, okay? They're not just weirdos minding their business. They're weirdos that are stalking you, all right? And they're weirdos that have no business in places such as the public restroom. All right. They're especially while they're engaging in surveillance on behalf of the state. And that's what the demon possessed are doing. So anyway, it's currently 7:32 p.m. and I'm at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. And this is documentation of what is an entity that is engaging in stalking in a bathroom. And that includes Union Pacific. That's a company to be prosecuted on multiple grounds. And with regard to the peculiar, well, not peculiar, but the specific, the custom size prosecution of companies as they engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, that is speaking to what is the ways in which you're going to prosecute those companies who are making money. All right. These are companies that are operating businesses, and they're also engaging in what is state terrorism and surveillance, okay, on behalf of the state in concert with the state. Now, when you're dealing with the people of the state in those capacities, I'm not going to expound upon that here, but companies such as Union Pacific, who are mass facilitators, that is, again, that's speaking to what it shall be federal prison. You're a group stalker, period. It's just going by a company name. You're going to slice that company down in very, like I said, people, flesh and blood, going to federal prison with regard to what is the use of the government utilizing and criminally monitoring with such companies, engaging in what is a massive threat to your life, enabling thousands of people at one time to act with the entity, act with the demon-possessed police agencies who are targeting you, stalking you, monitoring you with communication devices, placing you under surveillance, entirely inhumane. All right. So like I said, that is relevant and that is necessary with regard to dealing with the people of the state who are engaging in the system via company names. Okay. Anyway, I'm at the museum now, and it is currently 7:34 p.m. And that is documentation of the entity that's engaging in ongoing obsessive stalking. The entity is stalking by helicopter. Let me be clear. The entity is stalking by helicopter right now, okay? What I capture on video is when the entity is creating audible activity of helicopter. In other words, communicating a threat to me, letting me know that you're stalking by a helicopter. That's an unlawful threat. Group stalking is underway on an ongoing, ceaseless basis. The police are stalking on a 24-hour basis. The people of the state are group stalking on a 24-hour basis. Group stalking by helicopter in a way that the target individual is aware of it is the communication of a threat. But they're not taking any pause. And I've shown that the entity engages in knee-jerk reactions appearing out of nowhere, especially as I mention it, by helicopter. You're group stalking. You're already there. You're always stalking by helicopter. And the entity is engaging in what is entirely demonic in doing so. Very extreme, very outlandish, very far-fetched. I mean, you're using a lot of resources to target one person. Okay. So let me be clear. It's not based on some physical threat that I pose, okay? Like I said, I'm 5'5", and I'm 125 pounds. Now, do not be confused, okay? I'm one that my mind is a weapon, all right, and my skill set is a weapon. But don't be confused. I may be petite, but like I said, don't be confused by that. But that's not the point. My physical abilities with regard to defending myself, that's not what I'm focused on. What I'm speaking to is this is spiritual. Satan is very, very much fearful and very much put on its heels. You see these demons that are laughing, ah ha ha, ah hee hee, when I'm documenting them. They're demons, first of all. They're demons. They're laughing, though, like it's funny as I'm let me tell you something. Those are demons. I'm dealing with Satan. I'm exposing Satan while you witness that documentation, that evidence for their prosecution. But let me be clear. That's a defense mechanism, as I'm pointing it out. And you're actually encountering a psychopath who does not find any ounce of that documentation, the fact that I'm exposing them, funny. Okay? And you're talking about what is a psychopath. That's what you're witnessing. Somebody who's laughing when they really want to be crying. That's the reality. And that's why you see such a vacillation from, oh, it's so funny. Oh, it's a joke. So why are you calling the police? Are you scared now? Were you laughing because you were scared? And why are you scared of little old 5'5", 125-pound me? If all I'm talking is gibberish. And I'm on public ground. I can use my phone just like that Minnie was doing on video, using his phone. All right? Like I said, you're getting beyond that. I'm breaking down what is common sense, but you're getting beyond that. You will document the government. Satan is not going to avoid that. You can summon whoever you want. Whoever you're summoning is going to federal prison. You are going to federal prison. And you are talking about what is the psychopath that is group stalking on an obsessive basis. Obsessive, ongoing basis. Okay, and what I'm specifically referencing is what I documented today. But that's the pattern of conduct on an ongoing basis. That's what my documentation establishes, and this is what you need to understand. The government is stalking by helicopter at all times. The government is present, in other words, also through the people of the state, these demons, and you know them by what is their presence in an entirely cartoon environment. They are driving in light that is appearing on their cars, just like I've shown you light that sits on my person. The light is sitting on their cars. It's not appearing as though it's normal light that would create a shadow. No, they're in a cartoon environment. These are a bunch of goofy psychopath demons who are stalking me together, thousands of them at one time. And they're all listening to me prosecute them and expose them. And then you have the psychopaths that react. Like I said, it is analogous to literally Satan crying while they start sounding their sirens and going crazy. They rise in their maniacal conduct. It gets even, they're crazy, okay? Crazy as in psychopath crazy. Crazy as in I know what I'm doing is wrong and I seek to get away with it crazy. Crazy as in I just stabbed my neighbor and I put the body in my backyard and somebody knocked on the door in order to maintain a sense of normalcy, which it's not normal, but in order to maintain a sense of normalcy, blood all over their shirt, blood smeared on their face. Blood is on the floor in front of them. They're not very good with what is hiding the evidence. The evidence is in plain sight. They're holding the knife behind their back. The knife is dripping with blood, and they're smiling in your face. Hey, how's it going? As though you don't see any of that evidence that surrounds them. That's a psychopath. That's what the entity is doing. Okay? That is the demon possessed. That's the personality of Satan. Has every intention to get away with what they're doing. They're not going to get away with it. They are not getting away with it. And I'm not only am I prosecuting it, you are understanding and getting acquainted with this personality of the demon possessed. This is Satan. That is real. You're not deceived anymore. Satan is very real. Satan is present through the environment. Satan is present through people. And Satan is also engaging in what is criminal, which you will surround with necessary legislation as you are becoming aware of the ways in which Satan operates. All right. This is no invasion in what is to any liberty right with regard to exercise of religion. This is criminal conduct. That criminal conduct is prefaced by what is a specific condition. That specific condition is known as a matter of objective evidence through the environment that you're in. That environment is literally a scientific impossibility. This is how you know all of that. All of it. It's a matter of objective evidence, which you are submitting into a federal tribunal. None of this is based on what is tales that you can't establish. Somebody talking about, oh, they're a witch. And you have no way to prove. That's not what this is. Everything is substantiated by evidence. And it is literally the supernatural engaging in criminal conduct, perhaps at one time thinking that it would never be found out, or perhaps is so scared of the one with the skill set to reveal it and expose it. And that's why you're engaging in stalking in such extreme manners. Let me be clear. It's fear. Satan is very fearful. While it's laughing during the day while I'm documenting it, there ain't nothing funny about what I'm exposed to. Satan knows what's going on. Satan loses. Satan is on his heels. and Satan's going to pay for every criminal act that it is engaged in. But it happened to me for a purpose. It happened to me in order that you will know I'm exposing it and I'm prosecuting it. And any targeted individual, you don't have to be some college graduate. You do not have to have the legal skill set. You do not have to be one who is practicing law or has a background in practicing law or nothing like that. I have made it such that any American citizen, because this is the entity that has no intention of providing you a way to redress your rights in court. All right. The demons are in the court. The demons are the sheriff's department. The demons are in the jails with the sheriffs and the deputies. The demons are the police department. The demons are sitting in the gallery in the courtroom. The demons are the public defender's office and the district attorney's office. OK, the same exact environment. All of them, a demon possessed population, their condition no longer concealed. OK, and they do not have any right to privacy. It's criminal conduct that they're engaging in. And that criminal conduct is directly tethered to their condition. You're group stalking when you're a puppet of Satan. It is the work of Satan. So the one and the two, they go together. OK, so like I said, and that's a matter of objective evidence. So anyway, that's what I want to point out to you. That's why it's not about me being 5'5" and 125 pounds. It's about the skill set that I hold on to, that I have, that I maintain, that I'm in possession of. A very specific one. And that is a threat to what is Satan, who is engaging in this criminal conduct. And you are witnessing nothing other than defiance while the entity is engaging in what is prosecuted as a very violent sex offense. It's to your own demise. You continue stalking by helicopter, prosecuted as terrorism by a highly demented entity, having no sense of anonymity. Flesh and blood individuals of the government and of third party are going to federal prison. They are going to be locked away in a federal prison for a very long time to their own demise. The defiance of Satan is in no way any less of what is the loss of Satan. Defeated. Okay? You're talking about what is a sore loser. You're talking about what is one that likes to engage in laughing while they are continuously losing day in and day out. Okay? This is why the entity sought to engage in what is kidnapping me time and time and time again. All right. You're talking about what is fear. Now, that's on the spiritual map. With regard to what's going on legally, the entity is subject to what is evidence at every turn. Everything that is being alleged with regard to the condition, with regard to the environment, with regard to what is the way in which not only you can know in everyday life what's going on, the entity that surrounds you and the criminal conduct that you're subject to by virtue of that environment and those that are in that environment, the conduct that they engage in, you are able to enforce your own rights, and you don't have to have some legal background in order to do so. It is with every intention. And that's why exposing what is not only what has happened to me, what the entity is doing, it's happened to me for a purpose, because it is to provide a way for any person to enforce their constitutional rights, especially those of you that are not puppets of Satan. Satan is targeting you. OK, and Satan is doing it in a way which would like to be unbeknownst to you, would like to maintain it in a way that is concealed. And I am providing a way for that to be impossible. So it's not going to be concealed. And I want to be clear, the entity gets even more desperate while that is the case. OK, so but like I said, you're talking about an entity that is stalking you. That is an inherently inferior entity. I want to be clear. You're stalking a 5'5", 125-pound woman. Yes, I am a fierce to be reckoned with. I'll give you that. Yes, I am. But let's be clear. You are stalking with a helicopter. OK, and you're stalking. Police departments are using their police departments, driving around in fire trucks and police cars, and they're stalking me. Do you understand what that's coming from? It doesn't have to do with my weight and my height. OK, as much as they may fear my ability to articulate what's going on, that's not what it's about. It's about what is going on spiritually. This is of Satan. That obsession that they're stalking, that's what compels this. This is obsession that is born of Satan. These are puppets of Satan. Satan is obsessed. Satan is a stalker. Satan is very real through people. Satan is very real through the environment, as I've revealed both. I've revealed both to you. So anyway, it's currently 7:44 p.m. and I am at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. The entity is group stalking at third-party facilitating venue Rojas Enterprises, which is directly across the street. The demon-possessed people of the state patrolling on Emporia, the state facilitating venue of the City of Ontario Code Enforcement. That's where that venue is at. The Rojas Enterprise, they're group stalking on that street, and they are maintaining. They're demons that are manifesting light, because of course their headlights are not vibrant enough to reach over here, but they're demons. This is Satan that's stalking in perfect alignment with me. As I've also shown you, while the entity is stalking by helicopter, flying over in circles, and you saw those demons engaging in that exact same conduct. That's exactly what they're doing. All right, knowing exactly where I am. The same conduct while I'm in the bathroom and my panties are down, knowing exactly where I am, stalking on behalf of that same exact entity that likes to stalk by helicopters and demon-possessed police officers. Okay, it is currently 7:45 p.m. and that's documentation of what is the Mestiza Cafe, Rojas Enterprises, the venue of what is Emporia, the people of the state, and there are businesses along Emporia. All of those, that's third-party facilitating venues and where the people of the state reside in relevant position. And I'm capturing an image of what is a demon stalking in the path with light, okay? That's attributed to the people. The people that are stalking in bathrooms, the people that are stalking with police, all those license plates and those company names that I'm reciting, Union Pacific, the Ontario Police Department, that is the stalking conduct that's attributed, that's ongoing terrorism, and that's what the entity is doing together as one, okay? It is currently 7:45 p.m. and this is P.O.C. Union Pacific, ongoing stalking, audible activity, that's amplification. And it's 7:58 p.m. The entity engaging in what is vibration of the sidewalk that I'm sitting on, where my property is, where the directed light, where I show you the entity stalking by helicopter. Sensational activity is demonic. It's not creating any earthquake, any vibration of the ground whatsoever on the museums. That's demonic, and that is attributed to what is a terrorism by Union Pacific. That is engaging in the ongoing incessant creation of audible activity. And it is 7:59 p.m. and Union Pacific is pacing back and forth as a means of audible activity. It's this is the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, and again, group stalking at what is the venue adjacent to the Mestiza Cafe, the Cake House and Cafe. They're group stalking over there. They're group stalking at what is Rojas Enterprise, the people of the state demons that are stalking with light in that parking lot, in that, it's like a cul-de-sac, just stalking in the path with light while the entity creates that ongoing audible activity. It is 7:59 p.m. This is P.O.C. This is conduct that the entity is engaging in. Union Pacific represents the entity doing it on behalf of that entity that likes to engage in stalking by helicopter. So you need to understand that they're engaging in the conduct of a proxy. This is group stalking by Union Pacific. It is 8 p.m. That's P.O.C. All right, when you see Southwest Airlines flying directly over the B&G Plaza while I'm seated at the B&G Plaza, as I captured Delta Airlines and Southwest Airlines yesterday under the fake sun, that was not in alignment with Upland Public Library because I wasn't there. It was on Hope Boulevard in alignment with me as I documented on video, which is speaking to what is stalking with light. This is the pattern of conduct that I'm subject to. And I'm reminding you was what the entity is doing with commercial airline planes, stalking with the same entity that's stalking by helicopter, as I have captured in 2 additional videos. And the people of the state are engaging in what is surveillance. You've got a demon that's stalking in the path, sitting on the opposite side of the museum, stalking with the government that's flying over by helicopter. That's the people of the state, and that's a demon that's engaging in that conduct and stalking in your face. This is the prosecution of the people of the state for acting with impunity. This is the grounds of federal prison. All right, engaging in what is the unlawful threat and doing so with the government, and this is the government acting directly and the government acting vicariously. This is a group stalker at the museum while the entity is flying over by commercial airline plane, and what you're listening to is the direct flight over the very side of the museum where I am positioned. When I'm at the B&G Plaza, that's exactly what the entity is doing, flying directly over the parking lot of the B&G Plaza, not flying over the south side of the Museum of History and Arts. This is the entity that is group stalking by commercial airline planes. This is the entity that is that is group stalking by commercial airline planes in directed light. All right, the environment is also speaking to what is nothing other than group stalking. Also, the pattern that I'm pointing you out, they're flying exactly where I'm at, not flying over the museum while I'm at the B&G Plaza. You don't see them flying at a distance. They're flying right over the parking lot, right where the fake sun is aiming, is directly over me, and right where the entity is aiming what is directed light, as I also capture on the benches at the bus stop, all manner of what is demonic conduct. And it is currently 9:49 p.m. And again, as I stated, the people of the state are engaging in surveillance over here at the museum. Immediately after capturing the second video that I captured, I have 2 additional videos that I will be publishing on YouTube and on my website. And as I move, that's stalking with activity. That's another commercial airline plane flying right over the side. And this is a demon that's over here. This is the people of the state, and this is documenting the ongoing terrorism by the people of the state. It is currently 9:50 p.m. That audible activity, this demon is over here monitoring. Alrighty, capturing what is group stalking by the people of the state, maintaining presence on behalf of the state. A demon, that not only is this a demon that's flying in circles above me by helicopters I'm capturing on video, this is a demon that is sitting on the opposite side of the museum in the engineered light, engaging in what is group stalking with that government. That is also, as you hear, flying directly over me by commercial airline planes. This is all manner of what is that system of group stalking, and it's entirely demonic, and you're understanding how demonic activity is on its face terrorism. All right. And also the conduct of an entirely demented entity is engaging in terrorism when they're stalking with activity, when they're stalking as an entity together. Everything that they are doing is following what it is that you do physically and on a communication device. It's entirely demented. The entity, as what you hear in the background, the entity started flying another commercial airline plane, which is a stalker that's already present, creeping in a whole plane, okay? And doing so, sounding the plane activity as I begin walking across the museum to capture a still image of the people of the state that are group stalking at the museum. All right, and this demon's sitting in perfect alignment with where I'm positioned at the library. They're sitting in what is directed light, and they're doing so, keeping their head bent down. This is a demon that, like I said, Satan doesn't have to look at you. They're group stalking. The fake moon is directly over me. My body is being molested with what is impossible light activity. That's the directed light. The entity is flying circles over me by helicopter. The entity is driving in circles and walking in circles around. This is the people of the state that are in traffic, are in the buildings around, are group stalking in vehicles, aiming light onto walls surrounding like psychopaths, and engaging in what is group stalking corporately. And then you have the entity that wants to be as close as possible, sitting at the very grounds of the museum in order to maintain close proximity. That's the stalker, okay? It is currently 9:52 p.m. And this is the entity that's acting corporately to engage in that system. And it's currently the Ontario Museum of History and Arts is where I remain. And this is the entity that is group stalking through the people. And this is what you need to understand when I'm documenting these demons inside. Not only am I capturing the environment that they're in, revealing the stalker and revealing the demon-possessed stalker, I'm capturing that stalker in helicopter. While you're looking at it walk out and walk into the bathroom all around, looking at it sitting around like they're studying some book or reading, they're stalking. That's the entity that's stalking by helicopter, sitting all around, stalking wherever it is that I remain all day long, following from place to place, to bathroom, to place, the sex offender, okay? It's currently 9:53 p.m. This is P.O.C.